Hello, everybody.
Hi, friendos.
Welcome to the D-pad for our Patreon Hangout. Yay, I didn't have to add in all the info this time. The YouTube literally makes you wait until you have gone live and started in order to make that be a thing. I think, okay, good. We're in though. For a second I was like, wait, did I actually hit the set? You have to like hit a button twice on YouTube's side
Double
in order
confirm.
to, yeah, like you have to say, all right, I said to broadcast from XSplit. Cool. Now I have to go to youtube.com and say
It's
preview the stream. And then I also have to say to start the stream after that. Hooray. But then from
Seems
XSplit,
like a completely sensible process.
yeah, and then from XSplit you can just say like, all right, I want to end this stream. And it goes, oh, do you want to just turn off the stream? And go, yeah. And it goes, all right, cool. And it just ends it. It's like, oh, you couldn't do that for starting, but for ending, that's fine.
Hey, nobody.
Ben is still out. He might be joining us a little bit later into all of this.
His new car exploded. Clearly, that's what happened.
Oh God, I hope
no,
not.
I thought you were serious for a second. I was gonna be like, shit.
No. Just
I would like people
he
to
would
know
probably just like go flip all the tables.
this
if
is
that
not
happened.
us in a staggered formation doing forced perspective. Sarah is only about a foot and a half tall.
Yep.
It's
As you
true.
can
I've
see.
been shrink raid recently.
Yes.
So she can fit in overhead baggage compartments.
Exactly.
Saves a huge amount on travel.
Yep.
There's also a snake. If you
Yes.
see it back here.
There's a big snake
Uh,
that Tonk was
You
trying to
just
fight
the
earlier.
head is like back over there on the other side.
We reverse shrink raid the snake.
Exactly, yeah.
Embiggened.
So yeah, welcome to the October 2019 Patreon Hangout live stream. I keep not feeling like it's not the right name for it. I don't know why, but like I guess Patreon Hangout is kind of
Yeah, no.
Patreon Hangout
So-
live stream, all accurate.
Hangout is right because this isn't exactly the most professional interaction.
Yeah, I guess Hangout is good for that.
Right?
yeah.
No, it's a hangout. We're
We largely
hanging.
just chill with people and talk about stuff. So
Yeah.
I think Hangout hits the right
It's the right kind of
zone.
like tone,
Yeah.
Vibe.
mood,
There's no
vibe.
script. He reads from a teleprompter.
Yeah, right. We only have our massive chat thing right here, so we can follow that. There's one on the screen too, but it's harder for anyone besides me to see because I'm only a couple feet away from it. And like
Yeah.
Jeff's twice as far away. Sarah's like 3 or 4 times as far away, so she's got the tablet
She
over
has
there. so she'll
the
be
lucky
following along
stream
with that.
tablet.
Well, if everything
yeah.
works out okay, I can read that one and it's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
But if it starts,
this one's
if it starts
here
moving
for
quick-
like in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
More comfortable.
So
Comfort
yeah,
increased.
I don't think there's anybody who's likely to be new to this who's watching live, but anyone that's watching in VOD after the fact on
This is my
YouTube.
formal vest.
I was gonna
There you
say,
go,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's Jeff's formal.
It's one
vest.
of my nicer vests. It's not like I have a bunch of work vests and
Yeah.
outdoor vests. This one is kind of like it's got nice, goldish
nice little
hardware. I've got a
pouch.
secret pocket here.
Mhm.
It's a nicer
There's
vest.
compartments.
Yeah.
There's a lot
This is
going
how you
on.
find
I
the Jeff.
I wasn't told this was going to be a formal occasion.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm wearing my formal Pikachu Vermilion Gym shirt.
Right?
And I'm wearing my formal shirt that I turned into a T-shirt. So
Was that not
Oh,
originally
right, that was a
t-shirt?
long-
this was
good
not
shirt.
originally a T-shirt. I just did a nice job.
Nice
You
work.
know? But yeah, so if anyone's unfamiliar with this, watching after the fact, every month we have nowadays every month. We were trying to do that from the beginning. It took us a
Yeah.
couple years to get there, but every month we have a little live hangout with our $9 patrons and above. If you want to jump in on this live, you can go to patreon.com/dpadfm. Check out the stuff that we're offering there. At some point around New Year's, we might take a look at it and see about like reconfiguring some of those because it'd be nice to get some feedback on what people might like to see more or less of out
Yeah.
of those rewards and tiers and things. So
And specific rewards as well.
yeah, there might be some rewards that we're just overlooking as a possibility that people might be interested in and all that. But regardless, the consummate V's, yes. So the general gist is these hangouts are kind of split half and half between one half being kind of walking down the line of like the videos and the series that we've been doing lately, what kind of stuff we can expect coming forward, progress report, situation report. The other half is
Jeffrey.
That wasn't me. I didn't even touch it.
Jeffrey.
That was a ghost.
that was
You're
the other,
squishing the
You guys
carpet.
saw my legs.
You're squishing the carpet, and that's what caused it to.
Bollocks to the carpet.
the other half's usually dicking around talking about whatever loose Q&A, I guess, is sort of the general vibe of all that.
Yep.
Well, John technically counts as like a member of the D-pad, so you know.
I
John
don't.
just-
I'm trying to remember. Has he been here for any of the hangouts for this year, or was that all last year? I'm trying to remember. Because usually,
No,
because I'm here for all of them. I think you've only missed one this year.
I've been there for most of them.
You and Ben have both been here for
I've been
most
moderately
of them.
consistent.
Yeah, you guys have both been here for most of them this year.
Oh yeah, Goji poops.
99% bullshit, 1% stuff you wanted to hear about.
Yep.
Look, it's not our fault that you start us on debates.
Patreon has that permanent screw you with a $9 tier. Yeah, I mean, they relented on the changes they were going to make. It's kind of funny because now the new Patreon is bad for Patreon video. That's our third, I think, most popular video on the channel.
They're glaring.
It's just inaccurate currently. but
It is now not relevant because the changes they were going to make, they pulled back, and then they made a completely different set of changes earlier this year, I think in February. I was going to make a second video, and then I just never got time to do it because it was a very sudden kind of shift. But I reduced the tier from 10 to 9 because of the
God damn it, Koji.
the cut. That
She
Patreon was
poops
gonna-
and then she has an intense ass licking.
Oh my god, it's 2019. Everybody's licking their
Oh
own
my
ass
God.
after pooping.
She gets like all up in
I
there.
looked over and she locked eyes with me and went into the ass licking position and stared at me for like 10 seconds before she started doing
Like,
so.
what? You want some
I
of this?
was
And you're like, no.
What? Do you need approval from me? I prefer you not. Can I say no? And she was like,
Thank you. Yeah,
I apologize for completely interrupting.
no,
that.
it's fine. I really liked working on the Patreon video. I stressed a lot about the look of that video.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
I took probably like 4 times as long as I really should have, or I guess needed to.
Lindsay!
on that video. Did we get a Lindsay? Lindsay, yes.
I told him to text you this morning so you could know and possibly be here, but he was bad at life.
I was very busy. Work swamped me, so you can't hear me. Or are you just texting but you don't have any volume on? That's hilarious. But
Classic Wendy.
the Patreon the Patreon is bad for Patreon video.
He drank out of a cat.
We're not gonna. Okay,
I have so
if
many
there's a story
questions.
behind this. We're not gonna get anything done for a bit.
I know. I just
man.
have so many questions.
Yeah, I don't know. Patreon video is fun to make. I specifically went for the font that Patreon uses on their website.
Yes.
For that to kind of bring it all together and all that, and then Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech, standard. Everybody uses it to the point where that track that I used, I've heard in about 5 other videos since then. Like, it's just a very common track that's in there. But like,
Yeah.
it. I feel like a lot of educational videos that are voiceover only, like white background is a nice kind of thing if you're
Sure.
going for like, oh, I'm trying to inform for the video game stuff. For those intros, we have the black backgrounds just because we always have like we're always doing standard definition stuff. But I felt like for this one, it just kind of felt nice. Maybe because like web pages are usually white background. I don't know.
So that video obviously had some graphic design work in the editing. Like,
Yeah.
oftentimes a lot of what you do is like, some video stretching here, some clip
Yeah, a little bit of this and
manipulation,
that.
some audio.
Except
for the
when he
whole
goes
thing.
crazy with his like CGI
Yes,
experiments. but,
apparently
like,
sassy editor Rick comes out and
Every once in a while.
puts text on the screen. Yeah, but
Every once in a while.
yep.
But yeah, no, that one was kind of cool to make. It was like, I really wish that I had literally taken a notebook and storyboarded it, because there were some bits in there where I'm literally just sitting there tweaking stuff pixel by pixel, being just like, that's not right. I gotta, that's too close to that. I gotta
going
move that
into
shit.
Perfectionism mode.
Well, it's
What,
mostly
does
like,
he have other modes, Jeff?
Well, it's like, oh,
Have
I'm
you
gonna
seen
show
him edit videos?
$1,
Yeah.
5%, 90 cents on the side, and they have to be spaced nicely, and they're not like all awkwardly placed and shit. And like that's a whole.
If
a whole
Rick
thing,
was
but-
only ever consumed by like professional editing Rick TM,
oh god.
then we would never get anything done.
Oh yeah, no.
There is a deep like editing gremlin within Rick who is just like occasionally when things have to happen, like comes out and is just like, fuck it, it's good, here
Well,
it is, there it is, oops, like,
Yeah,
and it's
we've,
done.
We've seen. I mean, was it Rick Without Feet is probably the closest we've seen to
Oh, yeah.
editing Rick.
Yeah.
So good that he edited Feet onto himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Live.
Yeah. That could be editing gremlin Rick.
Peek behind the curtain on that one. I filmed that and like got my entire body completely covered in fucking sawdust and shit, and then edited afterwards and like right at the 0 hour realized, oh, my feet are in shot in the only are in shot in the only one of these shots that looks decent. And I'm like, I am at this point I'd already cut my hair, I'd already shaved off most of the beard, and I was like,
Fuck it.
that's what it's gonna be.
Yep.
So I think that's
Here
when
we go.
I wrote in the bit for CJ. I think he's got a line where he says like, "Oh, I bet he's editing
Adding
himself to
feet
have
onto
feet
himself,
again."
yeah.
Like, because at that point I'd be like, it's so way too late to fix this, so I have to just run with it.
That's
and then,
hilarious. I did
Make a
not know
joke
that.
about it.
Yeah, I think that was for the
But not clothes. No, he climbed in there naked.
what? Oh yeah, no, that was.
I was like, why would you do that? Why would you not have worn underwear or like
'Cause
swept? And
it-
he was like, because I don't think of these things.
No, I didn't say that. I said it was because that was the intent, was to be.
It was raw and serious
It
and
was.
emotional.
And
It
art.
was.
Where's his Oscar? Is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that was the Smash Ultimate intro, but it's not. It was the next thing for my character, my meta
Your
character
weird meta,
after
yes.
Ultimate,
Yeah,
which would have been
it was the return.
what fucking.
That was when you
thing
finally
that?
got back to the real world,
Yeah.
the world with feet.
Right at the end of it. Was that? Oh, that was NT Warrior, I think.
I guess
That was NT Warrior Beast. That was the last NT Warrior one that we did. Oh yeah, because it was meant to be like a kind of pairing and matching tone with the whole Beyondard thing. That like, oh, the story in the anime is about these two worlds that are connected and slightly different, so let's play with the world without feet again and have that be like a similar two worlds thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot gas segment. We've gone off the rails already. I'll
Look,
jump
man,
into what we
it's
actually gotta
part
talk
of the
about.
charm.
Yeah,
This is what
what's
you're here
our-
for, right? Right?
First up, we got Zelda. We got Link's Awakening, which has been a charming motherfucking adventure.
Super fun.
Except they made terrible choices with the design because
Yeah,
it's
Sarah,
ugly and I hate it.
We know.
Look, if Ben gets to complain about Kingdom Hearts every time that he shows up for it, I get to complain about Link's Awakening
That's
every
true.
time I
That
show
You're
up
not wrong.
for
That
it.
is the law.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
that's fair.
And I think my complaints have way more basis than his complaints.
yeah. No, that's
So there.
that's understandable. I like the game a lot. I like the look of it a lot. There's a couple little, very tiny little bits that I don't like. Like I agree with Ben that like the Rock's feather animation is odd because it's like your feet are the part that moves smoothly up in the air and your body goes whoa like underneath it weirdly.
I know exactly the reason that it looks awkward, and
Yeah.
it's because I went back and watched it. His flip starts so early into the jump that
Yeah.
you immediately start turning, but like a normal front flip would go up and then just
then, like,
before
a
the
wah.
apex like flip over and complete the flip.
It's like slow, a little bit of tip, whoa,
This one,
and you
his,
kind of
like,
curl
your
into it.
head darts towards the ground at the very beginning of
Yeah.
the jump, and then it finishes with this kind of like.
I mean, it doesn't help that
motion.
that Link is 50% head.
Yeah,
Like
it's true.
he's so super deformed
He
that
looks
like
so chunky.
yeah. Whereas I
Farewell,
think the idea was they
Catling.
were trying to find a way to get close to how they do it in the Game Boy version, where it's literally your jump lasts for, let's say, 24 frames. I don't actually know what the number is.
Sure,
It's got to be more than that,
question
but
mark.
or say it's 64
frames.
frames. 60 frames. It'll do 15 frames, 15 frames, 15 frames, 15 frames, and you land.
Yeah.
So it like
I
just
see
does
what
a
you're saying.
smooth 4-frame rotation.
Yeah.
But then when you try to translate that to a 3D thing, it's just kind of like, okay, so he's going to look like a dead block of wood going, like it doesn't. You
no
can
body movement whatsoever.
Yeah, you can let a 2D game get away with that because the limitations of the
It's
system.
2D
at the time.
pixel art. We're already like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, like this isn't Prince of Persia. Like you're not going to have
good-ass
fucking
game, though.
rotoscoped front
True that.
flips and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's way more than was ever going to happen there.
We should
but
play that classic
So,
trilogy on the trend.
Me from like the standpoint of actually like really playing through it and seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. Don't know exactly what episode has gone up most recently.
The most recent one that's gone up is part. Oh geez, this isn't even like an updated version of it. The last one would have been part 22, I think, today.
Okay.
And we have 4 more episodes that are recorded ahead of that.
Okay, I'll put it this way: there's some things happening in the plot and the story, and
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, we got a boomerang. It's like, oh, we're like advancing the plot and things are happening.
Yeah. For people who are familiar with the game, and not to spoil anything for people who haven't played the
Yeah,
game.
well, good luck.
No, I mean, there's a
Did it
pretty
get
easy way to
smiley?
describe
Yeah,
it.
no, I believe
Which
you.
is this, just the, like, for people who have played the game, the Southern Face Shrine is kind of where all of a sudden stuff starts happening, and you're like,
things start
"What?"
going. Okay.
So that's kind of the point where things start to like. I don't want to say unwind because that's not right, but like you start pulling the bandages off, and you're like, wait, hang on, what's under here?
Yeah. You've gotten through the early game.
Yeah.
You're getting to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. This is the
story
point where
starts
like
to be revealed.
because like the first
Basically.
50 to 60% of the game, you're getting very light bits of story here and there. It's like atmosphere and setting is all kind of being placed, and now is the point where the game kind of goes, okay, you've been getting accustomed to all this. Now the plot's gonna start,
Yeah.
spinning up, and you have to be ready for it.
Yeah, use what you learned.
So
We did get a boomerang, yes.
yes.
But also, you totally did get a boomerang.
Also,
There was. I felt bad because we did a bunch of chamber dungeon stuff, and then after that we were like, well, we can do like another like episode or two, and we were like kind of halfway. We want to make sure the chamber dungeon stuff gets done because that's brand new, but also we were like pseudo stalling in case Ben or John was going to be around to do stuff, and then
Yes.
John got back like 2
And
hours
John
after
was
he
a
was supposed to, so we were like,
lame
let's just
human
do like
being.
I had
one
to
more
go.
episode.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering why we had a bunch of Dampy episodes, it was because we were like, well, let's do
Yeah.
content in the game that doesn't really move things forward,
Yep.
but does need to be finished. And
Yep.
And
Blame
it's-
John.
it was
It's always
interesting.
John's fault.
The irony
No, I had
being,
to leave too. That
I'm
was
just-
the
no,
other
I'm just-
it's
problem.
funny. I feel like we've got this
Hi,
like
Kathleen.
solid rotation at all times of some game that's just in the middle of like busy work. Like Epic Yarn keeps
Yeah.
going in and out of minigame zone.
Yep.
And now
not
we've
anymore.
got Link's Awakening. We're in the chamber dungeon.
Yep.
And Kingdom Hearts, where now we're in puzzle piece hunting mode.
Post game.
Yeah. So like there's like just
Yes,
little bits
Michael?
of like busy shit going on in all of our various games at various points. At least this is better than I would rather have the slow progress of now versus the ultra tedium of I've been calling it the summer of pain, where we had early Epic Yarn where we were still getting used to everything. We had Sonic Battle, we had freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, all running at the same time.
And slogging through Battle Network 6.
And Battle Network 6, and the thickest chapter of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu
Oh,
and
yeah.
Eevee, where it's the meatiest portion of the entire game. So it's just like lots of goddamn,
Yeah.
just a big wad of stuff.
We went to work this summer in
Yeah.
terms of completing shit.
It seems to keep happening every summer for some reason. That's when all the slowest games suddenly show up.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I assume
flop.
that next
There we
summer we're probably going to be. I would be surprised if we weren't done with Shadow by next summer. I think we may actually, if things go well, next summer may be when we're starting like Sonic 06,
Oh, interesting.
which is gonna last like the fucking rest of the year. That game is thick as shit.
Okay.
Thick.
So, like, all right, the easiest comparison that I can make to it, and this isn't necessarily representative of how they play or how we play or any comparison or whatever, but
Right.
so the Game Grumps did Sonic 06. The last I recall, they got to the final story after I think 108 episodes.
Good God.
And they were, I mean, granted, they were shorter episodes, if I remember correctly. I think their episodes tended to be like 10 to 12 minutes at the time. But yeah, it was more than 100 episodes to get there. I feel like we'll get there slightly faster because they also dicked around and we're just like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Like stuff, which we're probably going to do under that too. But like,
Yeah. Won't be completely innocent of that, but
but weekday series, we only get 20 in a month.
yep.
So if we're picking up Sonic 06 in like July,
It's going to go for a
the
while.
rest of 2020
Yep.
for Sonic is now Sonic 06. Like, that's gonna be a long fucking game. The good news is, once Sonic Heroes is done,
I'm just
It's a lot of
laughing at
shorter
James'
stuff.
game, and nobody basically.
Oh.
so you
mi-
underestimate
don't
how long
mind
it'll take
me.
to get through games. I'm not underestimating
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes. I'm expecting it to be, I'm gonna say minimum of 3.5, 4
Yeah.
months. Likely guess would be 5 months.
Well, all right, with that segue, do we want to move on to Sonic Heroes as a discussion
Yeah, let's talk
point?
about
Is
Sonic
that-
Heroes.
Is that the next one?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It might be a pretty long game if I continue playing.
well, you're in the 5th world, I think, out of 7.
Yeah.
So like, so the episode that went up today is the last one we recorded. We're in Lost Jungle.
Do more tonight.
And that's level 10, not counting boss encounters, which means there's only 4 stages left, and there's 3 boss battles, 4 stages, and that's it for the game. And I think it's like a Haunted Mansion stage and the Egg Fleet, or the
Okay.
Egg Armada, I think, are the 2 like worlds that we have left.
Okay.
I
I don't know. I honestly have felt that I've gotten better at controlling and understanding the game over
Yeah.
time. It doesn't mean that I am better at predicting or responding to all the curveballs it throws.
Honestly,
like
the mechanical,
much like Alligator Time.
Yeah,
that was a complete surprise to me, and I was like, oh fuck.
Somewhere along the line, they really fucked the mechanics of that game. Where I saw the chat in the Discord that apparently in the game they decided to double the acceleration in game, but not the deceleration. So you just jump off the line like crazy, and it's really hard to slow down.
Yeah.
That
So
seems
if you do
odd.
an attack, like as Sonic, if you do an attack, he does this like slide kick thing, and immediately starts like skating around
Yes.
like he's like on
Sonic's
a fucking buttered up sled.
Sonic's slide kick is the worst offender so far in that
Knuckles'
game.
ground punch is not
at
far
least
off.
Knuckles' ground punch like does one direction.
Yeah.
Sonic's slide kick goes
Like,
for
whoa!
so long and goes along walls.
Yeah.
Like there was a recent episode
It
where
literally
I
got a
slide
game
kicked
over.
this way, and then it hooked up with a wall and
then
brought
went
me
backwards.
directly backwards off a platform
Yep.
about 15 game
I think that was what
and-
got you the game over.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
It was
just-
like such a non-issue
Yeah.
platforming wise,
I
and
could
then
do-
the game was
I
like,
could do
nah.
nothing for it.
It's underneath
Who's
you
gonna
can't.
do the 3 stories?
I am
All right.
planning on taking on Team Dark.
Right.
It's just
Ben-
gonna keep being irritating.
Ben
until you
might
move.
take on Team Rose.
But I am also a possible candidate because I hear it's easy mode.
It is easy mode, yes.
So if Ben doesn't want to put hands on controller, I could play Team
We
Rose.
could
but
easily alternate and have like if that's the way it goes, then you've got Team Sonic, then I do Team Dark, which is hard mode. Team Rose easy mode, and then
Great.
I'll do Team Chaotix, which is like weird mission mode,
fine.
which is that one's interesting. Some levels are like nothing, and then some are super fucking pain in the ass. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to find all of these, and you're literally breaking everything you can find.
every
because,
box, every piece with Knuckles. Yeah, I can see that.
Thanks,
yeah,
Cat.
general
There
rule
we
of thumb
go.
is just to never hit the B button when you're on the ground.
Yeah.
Ever. Sonic dashes off, Knuckles dashes off. I don't even know what Tails does. Does he throw? I think he throws a fake ring. It's like
Yeah.
bullshit.
I have learned not to. So like anytime you're in Tails mode, you're already stacked.
Yeah.
Like even if you're just on the
and
ground,
very
randomly.
slow, which is nice
Yes.
for platforming.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's controllable. You can fly. You know, it's a lot more manageable. And I've learned by playing the game so far that like there are very specific uses for each character, and they're not power, speed, and fly. It's don't fall off of rails, kill things quickly, and like light dash. Otherwise, go home, Sonic.
Sonic is good
Otherwise,
for
go home.
Sonic
I never
is-
want to play as Sonic.
Sonic is good for the light dash and like chaining homing attacks to get across stuff.
Yeah, boss fights.
Also
like,
the poles, boss fights in particular.
In boss fights, my tactic has worked 50-50 so far, so
Jump
it's still
in.
viable. Yes, just go nuts and constantly
yeah, no,
dash.
that's legitimately the best strategy
Yeah.
for all of the Robotnik bosses.
And so far it's like paid off somewhat because I couldn't imagine chasing it up with Tails and throwing a range and
no.
then being like, oh fuck, I gotta get back up to it, or with Knuckles who's even shorter ranged.
James Games. So the teams were not laid out quite the same way. I think Team Sonic and Team Dark were the same. Team Rose was different. I think it was going to be.
Oh, nobody basically just laid it all out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was
Amy,
going to
Cream,
be.
and
Yeah, there we go.
Rouge.
Amy, Cream, and Rouge. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Shadow wasn't even going to originally be
Oh, so they had
part of it.
or they had teams of less than 3 people.
No, it was teams of 3 for all of them.
Well, like Metal.
but
Oh, was Metal Sonic gonna be
Metal
like,
Sonic was going to be one of the controllable characters. It was going to be Metal Sonic, Ray, and Mighty to be kind of the. So the 3 of them kind of get lumped together a lot as what was it, the Sega Sonic? Actually, was I think Metal Sonic was involved with that. And the idea is like, yeah, the Sega Sonic like crew for that, like Ray and Mighty just kind of get pulled together for Sonic Mania.
Sure.
For Sonic Mania Plus, they wound up bringing that back
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
Fang, Bean, and Bark, same thing. Like in Sonic Mania Plus, they referred back to that setup as well from the Sonic the Fighters crew. Chaos E102 and Big would have been like the Sonic Adventure team representatives.
Lindsay's gonna be a child firefighter for
That'd
Halloween.
be great. Oh
Sounds
my god!
about right for
Does
her.
that mean that you fight children who try to start fires, or you are a baby firefighter employed by the state to fight actual fires?
It's my
Like the
desire.
team
It's
firefighter
my
just puts
desire.
out the game.
I think I heard a door.
You thought you heard a door earlier too, and you were wrong.
Well, maybe he's wrong again.
I'm pretty sure he's wrong again because I don't hear any steps.
Well, maybe. I lost my train of thought. Shit. So Team
We're
Dark.
talking about the
Metal
various
Sonic
teams
wasn't in
Sonic
Sega
Heroes.
Sonic. That team is just weird.
Yeah, they actually do a decent job of breaking down the story of this game into chunks. Like, I think Team Sonic has a pretty straightforward Sonic adventure style plot. Nothing too intense. Team Dark actually has a decent amount of like intrigue going on. It sort of forms I'm not going to spoil stuff, but it sort of
I'm going to have to trust you on
there's
these.
an arc that starts with Sonic Adventure 2 that continues in Sonic Heroes and ends in Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, Shadow has a 3-game arc that this is kind of the second act of that for him. I get the feeling they were going to do something similar but not the same with the original setup if he wasn't going to be a controllable character. Or they would have gone literally the exact opposite direction for what they went with in Sonic Heroes. And I'll talk about that more when we beat Team Dark because I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah, okay.
Team Chaotix, weirdly enough, probably has the most critical piece of the puzzle of what's going on. Like, you can do the other 3 teams and have a vague idea what's happening. If you do Team Chaotix anything other than last, then you pretty much know exactly what's happening for the rest of the game.
Oh, okay.
So, like...
Hey, Rick,
It's a good
random
one to end
question.
on.
Is
Yep.
there a way to adjust the delay? Because
Nope.
it sounds like it's really bad based on the chat with them being like, very, very terrible, awful delay.
Yeah, I mean...
Very behind
it
for
could
chat
just-
versus this. I'm just curious if
Well,
that's like a
there's-
thing.
So,
it might be YouTube.
are we laggy from our own video? Or are you
I don't know.
talking about the chat is behind?
I think that they were saying that...
Chat's like way
Oh,
behind.
no, there's
is
nothing we can do
somewhat
about that. That's
behind.
YouTube.
That's
Yeah,
just how it
okay.
works?
That's just
Okay.
YouTube.
That's his
I thought they were
live.
saying that we were like desynced because I was
I
like,
don't think
"There's
so.
No, I think the chat is as live as we can get.
Okay. Scenario Writer said Shadow wasn't going to be in the game at all originally. Interesting. So they were just going to straight up write out Shadow after Sonic Adventure 2. That would have been like I'm glad they didn't because I actually like what they do with the character for those 3 games. It makes enough sense though as like here's your one-off character in Shadow the Hedgehog as like a dark version of Sonic, and then at the end he sacrifices his life kind of thing. But
Well, all right. So, anything else to discuss about Sonic Heroes before we move on to next point?
not
So we
that
can get
I
through the docket.
Yeah, not that I can think of. I'm glad that we're doing Sonic Heroes because, like,
Yeah.
Sonic Battle was fucking tragic to try to get through. Like, it's a neat concept and so badly implemented.
Yes, Sonic Heroes has at least been fun for me. Like as many times as I like sob and groan and
Yeah.
gasp while
And fall
playing the
off
game,
ledges.
it is still fun for me. Like if it takes me like 4 game overs to get through the next level after this one, maybe I'll change my tune. But
that's-
like I think that I'm getting the hang of it a bit, and it's
Yeah.
still been interesting.
That's one of the things I really like about platforming games. Like, it's the reason why I can play a game like, I'm trying to think, like, I guess Hollow Knight, get the
Sure.
shit kicked out of me constantly, and still come back and be like, all right, we got this, and like be kind of chipper about it versus
Yeah.
Dark Souls, yeah.
where you die and it's like, I have to redo like 9 minutes just to get back there
You suck.
to die again. Like, something
Maybe
about
you
platforming
should be better
games.
at killing things.
Well, the thing is, like, it seems like when it comes to platforming
advice.
games, a lot like action platforming games, so much of it comes down to like tight controls mean that at the end of the day, if you fuck up, it's just because you fucked up. Whereas the looser those controls get, the more you're like, well, how was I supposed to? The fucking I hit B and then it zoomed me off the edge and I
Yes.
died. Like,
I mean, playing Sonic Heroes is always exciting because I never know what it's gonna do.
yeah.
I would also say this just means you should have played Bloodborne instead of Dark Souls, like I said. But
All right, hindsight, Sarah.
look, Bloodborne's just better, and I knew that from the start, which is why I've only ever been interested in playing Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
I don't even know how we managed to do it, and I think, ironically, I think Game Grumps also did Sonic Heroes and got made fun of for skipping the tutorial section because they constantly do that and then go, well, how do I control the game? Team Rose, it is mandatory. Your first stage is like a stage 0 where the game teaches you how to play it.
I'll do Team Rose then, so I actually get taught how to play the game.
If you want,
I'm in.
Wait, so it's just
the other 3 teams.
we're
It's
supposed
optional.
to magically know that we should go and play Team Rose, or
like maybe in the main menu is like 1P, 2P
tutorial
or something. I don't remember, but like for Team Rose,
Maybe.
it forces you to do the tutorial, which is hilarious because it's the 3rd option in the list. And I feel like for me, if I play a game like that, like when I first got that when I was, I guess, 17, I went Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, Team Chaotix in order because I'm like, why not? Like that's how they're in order here. I'm guessing they did that for a reason. Let's do that. Oh God, please God no.
Sekiro is pretty cool.
I saw Ben playing Sekiro. That did look interesting.
Yeah, Sekiro does look interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sonic Heroes is going. We're about 2/3 of the way, almost 2/3 of the way through Team Sonic, and then we'll be moving on from there.
We're gonna get there. I believe in myself.
Believe
Let's see,
Jeffrey
Pokemon.
Can fly.
I do.
I think I saw it get mentioned earlier in the chat. There's not a lot to talk about here, but when John was here for Halloween stuff,
John,
we did record the
Almost
entire
nothing.
rest of his chunk of like up to the next gym and the face-off.
Yeah.
So like there's a humongous. I think there's 3.5 weeks of Pokemon videos ready to go.
Rick and John went Super Saiyan on like one day and just decimated Pokemon.
I think I went to bed at like 3 a.m. that night. Like it was awful.
yeah, you were up very late.
It was just like taking advantage of the situation. There was a point.
It might honestly, I think we might have gotten to bed at more like 4 or 5.
It might have been later.
It was really late.
there was a point where where it was like, all right, so I'm just kind of doing this one thing, and then it's time to go to the gym, and we're like, well, we may as well do that. And then once that happened, it was like, well, we may as well just have our face off.
Yeah.
So
And you can't.
that's where that's at.
Yep.
So no spoilers of,
I was gonna
of
say
where that went.
None of us, aside from the 2 of them, know who won
I
or
think-
how it was fought.
I think,
We don't?
I think Sarah knows. I think
I
mentioned
totally
Sarah
know.
what
Oh, you
happened
do?
on that one.
Okay.
But
then
we're
no,
Should I
gonna-
not
we're
tell
gonna
you,
talk
Jeffrey?
about-
Do you
no
not want to know?
Jeffries.
Yeah, no, let's not.
We're
We're not going to talk about that.
Results are.
We're certainly not.
Don't want to
gonna
know who got kicked in the dick?
Yeah, right. Oh boy.
I do not.
But yeah, so that's where Pokemon's at. We've got 3.5 weeks of episodes in the bag. That should be pretty.
No, with me
continuous.
voicing John.
Yeah, very well. You do a perfect representation.
Nailed it.
we even.
Whoa! All
Doesn't
right.
John
my
laugh
God.
like that?
I don't know.
Think
He
so?
He has that. When John is like tickled by something, he has this like very
It's
like
Yeah, he's got like a
lot of
like,
exhale,
yeah,
a lot of
bit of breathiness to it.
to it.
There's a lot of H in his
Yeah.
laugh.
Like I said, I had plenty of practice pretending to be John while playing Pokemon.
So yeah, so that's where that's at.
So look forward to that.
Yeah, we have the better part of a month of Pokemon ready to go now, so that's good.
Cool.
No, like gaps for a while at that point.
Swash is coming up.
Yes, Sword and Shield is coming up, and I think
Swash.
by the time we're back for our next Patreon hangout, we will have started Sword and
Swash.
I
Shield.
mean, it works on a
It was
couple
never really
levels,
meant
like
to-
swashbuckle and sword shield.
Right.
and-
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
It was
think it's
never
just
really
the
meant
most
to be-
convenient. Like from now on, I will refer to it
Reflarp?
as Swash.
Swash.
Sword SWASH.
I can see Swash or Swish. They both work for
But
like
swash goes
sword.
into like
Well,
swashbuckle.
yeah, swashbuckling
as well
versus
as-
Swish, which is more
No,
of like a
it's
fencing.
Sword and Shield. SW.
Yeah.
Sword A. And
Oh, A for
Shield. SH. Shield. Swash.
As opposed to Aegis Slash, which is Sword in Shield for Swish.
Yes, but that's not what it's called. It's called Pokemon Sword and Shield.
It's kind of like a Sword in Shield.
You're wrong.
I'm
You're wrong,
we're
Rick.
kind of in
It's
a-
okay.
in a schwa, so it's schwash.
Rick.
It's
Rick.
schwash.
You're
you
wrong,
tried,
baby. It's
bud.
fine.
You are-
It's
you
fine.
Are immensely wrong.
It's fine that you're
It's
this
fine.
wrong.
SW
Yes.
upside down rotated lowercase e.
We've entered
SH.
the denial stage of grief for being wrong. Yes. Okay. All right. Pokemon's check.
Yeah,
Look forward to
Pokemon's
Swash
check.
as well.
Yeah, Sword and Shield is coming out middle of November. We're gonna be
Correct.
jumping on that. It was never really like a
Right
secret
away.
or anything. We just haven't really talked about it because we wanted to have it be. I feel like sometimes we talk about like, especially with Pokemon, it's like, man, can't wait for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to come out, and then we did 15 episodes of it, and you know, we just like we spent so much of that
Yep.
year building up to it and talking about it, and then we did very little of it. Like Sword and Shield, I don't think we're gonna have that problem. but I also don't want to spend most of the year just talking up Sword and Shield and be like, oh man, I can't wait till we do it. I'd rather focus on the stuff we're actually doing at the time.
It's going, honestly, for real though, I haven't played a Pokemon game personally for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't owned a DS or any of the portable systems. The first Nintendo system I've owned with a Pokemon on it has been...
probably slide in a little bit.
I played Insurgents on
you
computer
did?
for a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I played about half of that game trying to Nuzlocke it, and it went okay, but not great.
Oof.
But I kind of
I can relate.
it.
I can relate deeply to that.
Yeah, because then I was like, oh, well, I kind of just really crave the core Pokemon game. So I am so excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm not going. I'm not going to play a personal game ahead of where the D-pad game is, because Ben and I are gonna join hands and skip off into the English countryside.
Join forces.
Further confirmation that we made the right choice to not even entertain the idea of padlocking this game. Not only is EXP share permanently on for everybody in your party in Sword and Shield, it is not turn-offable.
Non-optional.
When you go to a Pokemon Center, so I guess now you have to go to the Pokemon Center. So in Pikachu and Eevee, you can just freely rename your Pokemon. You can't do that in Sword and Shield. But you can, instead of having a name raider, you can do it at any Pokemon Center. And you can freely relearn moves.
So Ben and I are going to have to wait to name our Pokemon when we catch them.
No, when you catch them, they give you a prompt for that. But if you wanted to rename anybody after that, then you have to...
okay. No, we're gonna pick our names and decide.
But yeah, you can now relearn without heart scales.
But
it's
that's
a free action to relearn old moves.
That's very
That's a little bit.
Which means two things. One, it would be fucking impossible to padlock this because whoever goes second could just optimize the fuck out of their team, based on relearning moves to just knock the dick off of whoever went first.
And be like, okay, I want this fire move,
Yeah, it does introduce a lot more customization. And, though it's possible that we could just have people try not to do it.
Yeah, you could set a rule for it, but,
it's still,
at what point are you not allowed to do that anymore?
Yeah, what's acceptable for
because you could do a certain amount of shuffling before.
Yeah, you can relearn moves
all around.
if you have heart scales, which are hard to find. They're very rare. But you can do that, so
you could
what
make
would be
some
fair,
kind
not
of rule
fair?
of you have 10 move adjustments. They're just throughout the whole game you have 10. Decide when you want to use them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You could just make a rule like that, but
as a general Pokemon game, I'm fine with the EXP share being on because I guess out in the fields there are massively overleveled Pokemon all over the place.
Yeah,
so it immediately reminds me of Final Fantasy 13 when you get to the fucking plains where the first thing you see will probably kill you if you don't be very careful about leveling up. But
so I I want there to be some sort of drama to Sword and Shield. And we're not gonna Nuzlocke it. That's not going to be the drama. But I don't know. I've thought about and entertained the idea of doing some sort of side battle. Right, we battle...
You could still battle after each gym or whatever.
Exactly. Once we beat a gym, then maybe I take my personal copy of Sword and Shield and battle against Ben and my, combined one.
I was debating
Ben
getting...
battles against,
I'm buying both Sword and Shield so that whichever one you guys play, we have, and then there's a spare. And I think there's a save file for any profile that's attached to it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Oh, I guess...
I
guess I'd have to borrow your Switch to make that happen for any of those, but it's I could be playing Shield, because I think you guys are doing Sword, but or at least it sounded like Ben wanted to do Sword. I don't know if that's where things are going.
I believe that's our current idea.
Okay.
We reserve the right to change that.
Just based off the legendaries alone, that's definitely the right call because Zacian seems pretty cool, and Zamazenta looks just dumb. Big flare wolf. No, not into that. But you've got the Sif style wolf with a sword in its mouth. It's all right, that's pretty cool.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. It reminds me of Red 13 a bit.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, the point being is that Rick and I have discussed this in a vague general sense. There's no current plans to do this, but it could be interesting to add a little bit of competition to the series where Ben and I take on somebody outside's team, at acceptable levels or something like that. So, be it you, if CJ has a playthrough, like if Sarah has one, we could level adjust or whatever. But
the irony is, this would be an amazing opportunity to actually finally follow through on an idea we had years ago and then never did, which was the like D-pad Pokemon League, which was like everybody coming up with their own teams of stuff, which would be great except for the fact that Sword and Shield is not including every Pokemon, and we don't even know which ones are included. So suddenly, the national dex has these giant Swiss cheese holes.
That would be super fun if you came up with a Rick gym, and like CJ came up with a CJ gym, and Sarah had a gym of Pokemon.
Chainsaw has a Minecraft Pokemon server where they specifically do shit like that, like make gyms and fire temples, and like have Pokemon battles with each other with their wild caught Pokemon that roam the Minecraft area.
Oh, weird.
Or whatever that. What's that mod called? Pokecraft or something? I
don't know.
It's like a specific mod that is specifically like Pokemon that are just like act like natural animals, and you just So just saying.
Well, I mean, yeah,
we could do something like that. Technically.
Not to get too far into it, but the point is that like it would be fun to have some sort of drama, but like we're not gonna nuzlocke Ben and my playthrough.
If that mod isn't called
casual,
if that mod is not called Moncraft, I feel like they've missed a golden opportunity.
Oh no, that might be what it's called.
Okay, good. Because I'm just sitting here, I was like, there's got to be like a decent play on that. And
there
it's like,
might be
Pokemon. Oh, there it is, Moncraft.
Pixelmon. No, that makes
I know. I've heard of Pixelmon. I don't know if that's the one, but I have heard of Pixelmon, which
that might be your.
I think it's Pixelmon.
Now I've got to go look this up because internet.
It was at this point. It was years ago, but I saw someone messing around with that. But
okay,
it's been around for a while. But
that should be about it for Pokemon.
I think so.
What's our next?
Kirby. We
yes.
have finished recording Extra Epic Yarn and we did that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
we recorded something ridiculous in the similar vein to Pokemon. Let's Go Pikachu. I'm trying to remember which one was John and which one's me. We recorded something like, I think 17 or 18 episodes in one day of Epic Yarn, because it kept seeming like we were basically done, and then there was like, oh, nope, there's this other stuff going on.
You literally referred to it as the week of hell.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yep. Oh, no, that was just the 5/6 day stretch of being stuck in races.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then we moved
I'm
on
sorry,
to finishing
all
off
of the mini games were terrible.
The races, I think, were the worst.
The races were definitely the worst, but I just mean like going from, we did like 2 straight hours of races, a couple levels, and then just another hour of mini games,
total.
Then some levels, then we did more mini games like the next time we played, and it was just so
6 hours of Extra Epic Yarn.
Yep.
It was nightmarish. We were delirious by the end. You can definitely tell.
Yes, yes, I was.
Series starts to wind down.
We just ran out of fun things. Like, I miss when we were doing the mini games. I was thinking of Clevin and Bixby.
Oh yeah,
and like the weird smooshy things, and the guys that live in the lava that just like run away when they're like, get off my head. Like all the unique things were now like old, and we were just racing through them. And I was like, I remember when this game was kind of wondrous, and now
this game was fun, and now
it's like, oh, that enemy, oh, that challenge, oh, that like. That's the thing, is like, the regular levels are very charming.
Yep.
Even when they're frustrating, they're still really cute and really neat. And
story.
the music is great, and the aesthetics are wonderful.
Dream Rocket is now on my personal playlist. Like that song is called Outerlands-Rocket.
Yep.
And it's great.
You were so close.
1 minute and 51 seconds long, and every second of that song slaps.
We're not 100. I'm gonna get in front of this one right now. We're not 100%ing Mass Attack.
Oh.
The number one reason I'm not even entertaining the idea is because I tried that.
Oh, look, it's John.
And it is so fucking hard. It is easily one of the most frustrating, difficult things I've ever tried to do in video games. 100%ing Mass Attack.
No.
So for anyone who is let's do the comparison. In Kirby's Epic Yarn, you can beat a level. You can collect bronze, silver, and gold medals.
Yep.
You can unlock the 2 extra stages in a world. You can collect the 2 treasures in a soundtrack in a level. You can go and buy all the furniture and fabrics. You can beat all the mini games. There's a lot of individual bits and pieces of things that you can
but they're moderately
100%.
finite.
Yeah, they're all like, if you did any one of those, they'd be, they're not terrible. Like the race was shitty, but if we only did the races and not bead collecting and fighting and carry throw.
The problem with the races was they only introduced them at the very, very end. So
Right.
like if you were gonna do the races, you basically had to sit down and play them fucking all.
Yeah.
But the point being, Epic Yarn has this wide array of like smaller subtasks that you can do that all come together to be 100%. And the game's even cool enough to separate those as 100%. Like having like stuff is its own category.
It tracks completion pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Flicks
talked
is its
about
own
the no
category.
damage thing, and it was just
Mass Attack. You literally have beat the level without taking a hit, and that is it.
Yeah.
And beating a level without taking a hit after the first world is like practically fucking impossible for the rest of the game. It is ludicrously hard almost immediately.
Yep.
And it only ever gets worse. I tried when I had the game on the DS and I played it a fucking ton because I
young
was
Rick
trying
was
so
also
hard.
foolish.
Yeah.
I was like, I can do this, and spoiler, I couldn't do it. Like I was not able to do it because some of these
Spoiler alert,
some
he
of
was
these levels
wrong.
are
Not done.
crazy.
Yeah.
So no, we're not going to be 100%ing Mass Attack. It's no, that's not going to be a thing.
So
Even Rick knows.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Look forward to the end of extra.
Oh, is Sarah super hot on the mic? Can you tap on yours real quick so I can see which one it is? All right, you're number 4. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to turn you down a little bit.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the discussion for Extra Epic Yarn. We're in the
There we go.
final stretch, and
Yeah.
recording is finished.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah, if anyone's not familiar with Mass Attack, you control 10 Kirbys in, like, a mob formation. I'm not positive you're actually controlling any of the Kirbys individually. You're just kind of controlling the clump.
James' game
Unless
certainly
you're down
makes
to
it
one.
sound like you're controlling
Yeah.
just the clump. Like.
Yeah.
I am not familiar with it whatsoever.
The comparison to Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks is apt because I think you do the same thing. Like, you kind of guide them with the stylus, and they just kind of wobble around as best they can, which is a problem when you're trying to do damage-free runs and shit is falling from the sky. So, no, we're not doing 100%.
To quickly answer your question, Alex, RimWorld is hopefully soon.
Like, March, April, maybe, probably.
Yeah. So it's possible that I do it like Sunday evening. But if not, it's probably going to be Monday. I'm looking to try to get the stream done. I've had a number of interviews and things like that recently for a new contract. So
Nice.
I've had a lot to do and a lot of research to take care of on like weeknights and stuff. Because I originally was like, oh, we'll switch from Mondays or Sundays to Mondays
For
or
football
Wednesdays
season,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah. But no, things have been very busy. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping that Sunday night possibly, and if not that, like, because it's gonna have to be a long stream. If we don't settle in for something, we're not gonna finish all the raids, all the 15 days in one stream because it gets intense.
I'm going to say, like, that seems like one of those like finale event style things where it's really meant to be done in one good hefty chunk.
From when we press the button to finish, we really should try to do it all in one stream because otherwise it's gonna we just have to break somewhere random in the action.
Just in the middle of everything, be like, well, I hope I remember, bless you. I hope I remember where everyone is, and that Oracle is literally 2 seconds from being shot in the face.
Somebody has to run over and rescue them, and then do this and that. And
Yep.
Yeah, it.
Here's Snookwolf to save the day. Pause. See you guys next time.
Yeah,
Like,
and then the first thing that happens is everything explodes.
yeah.
It's,
You come back and like something falls and the roof implodes, and you're like, I don't even know who was in there.
we did indeed almost burn the fucking storehouse down because
no.
I forgot that I forgot that incendiary shells were flammable.
Explosives
Weird.
work.
Yeah.
Weird how the fire bullets and things.
Fire explosives,
Yeah.
apparently when they catch on fire, explode into more fire. So that was
Say it ain't
Yeah,
so.
a bit of a
Yep.
loss.
Yeah, not so good there.
But anyway, yeah. I also
All right.
I have Death Road to Canada. That's a fun, I haven't played it.
To back things up real quick, Meta Knight and DDD games we're not going to cover yet, but we will cover them. We're gonna treat that the same way as we did Planet Robobot and
Eventually,
Star Allies and Smash Ultimate. Were like any games that were new in the Dreamy Let's Play that like had like extra modes, and we're just like, okay, we're gonna do the main game, and then when we swing back around to that at the end, we'll kind of like pick up the last bits and pieces. Like we're gonna do some more Planet Robobot, we're gonna do some more Star Allies, we're gonna do some more Smash Ultimate, we're gonna do some more Epic Yarn at the very, very end of everything.
Sure.
Partly because it was partly a decision because Planet Robobot was really good, but we didn't want to like drag things down by we did this whole game and now we're gonna do side things. Oh darn.
Yeah.
Side quest.
Yeah. So it was like, all right, that'll be a fun like light thing because we're literally, I think, after 2 more games, we enter into the DS downloadable Kirby zone where like suddenly there's a lot of like bonus games and things. Most of them are fairly short. Some of them are a little bit beefier, but like they're like DS-ware style stuff that's going on. If we were playing the Wii version, which I think I know I said this in the recorded. I don't know if I said it in today's episode, the one where we fight Yin Yarn, or if I said it in the last episode that we recorded. I think it was that one. But in hindsight, I wish that we had just done the Wii version to start, and then done like in the meantime, I just played Extra Epic Yarn and cleared that, and then picked that up at the end of it all. But hindsight, so we usually like I don't think we've ever really done 2 different versions of a game like that before.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like Sonic Adventure and DX almost, and Sonic Adventure 2 and 2 Battle almost, except they were literally the same game with DLC in their modern form, so it's not really the same.
No.
Like that would have been like doing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast and then doing the GameCube DX version for all the separate stuff for that, which would have felt a little bit clumsy. I don't know. It
also comes down to like we can't do every release and re-release of every game.
Yeah, and we weren't going to do a full playthrough of both Epic Yarn and Extra Epic Yarn, given that 90% of them are just literally the same game,
quite exactly the same,
with the only differences being hats, but not Prince Fluff. As a second player, like that's not enough of a difference to me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like we've done a couple like, hey, we're doing this game again. Like Sonic N is basically, literally it's an N-Gage port of Sonic Advance, but that one's more for the novelty of it. Like that has its own like separate reasons for being like, this is such a weird thing to exist that we have to look at it. Yeah, we didn't even beat the game. We just played till we hit a game over. And we're like, that's it. We're good.
And good enough.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's kind of, you did do some. I think we did 1 or 2 of Robobot side things, but we do have some things that are left. We did not finish it.
Yeah.
So we have at least, I think we have 4 Kirby games that are sitting in limbo until we catch back up. But things are moving. Moving forward. Well, we weren't going to not touch Extra Epic Yarn with the fact that it had extra stuff in it. Like we would have covered it either way.
It was basic, but it also had the extras.
Yeah.
All right, what's after
Nobody,
Kirby?
you don't have to refer to yourself in the third person. I know that you really wanted us to play Sonic N.
Yeah.
I know you did. So I appreciate that.
No, we felt the support.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like shaking the table. Yeah, there it is. Earthquake. Because I've got my foot on the desk, and I'm just kind of doing that like restless leg thing.
You're jiggling.
So let me not do that. Sorry about earthquake mode there for a second.
All right, what's after Kirby?
Let's see. We did Link's Awakening. We talked Pokemon. We talked Sonic. We talked Kirby. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
So similar to Epic Yarn, we recorded a crazy amount of Kingdom Hearts, literally right alongside it. We recorded 6 hours. I think I even tweeted about this. We did 6 hours of extra Epic Yarn and 6 hours of Kingdom Hearts 2 in the same weekend. So we have a decent amount of backlog on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And then we reached a logical stopping point where we're like, okay, the super bosses are kicking our ass. There's literally a place we can't physically get to.
It was
Puzzle
the only
pieces we
cool
can't physically
place,
get
too.
to. Yeah, so we're like, all right, let's break it here. I'll do some grinding and leveling stuff up off camera, and we'll come back once that's set. And good news, I did that. It didn't even take that long. I was actually kind of surprised at how fast you can level up your forms. For anyone out there who's curious about what my Kingdom Hearts 2 workout routine was, the world that never was, like the first room inside the castle that never was for final form is really nice because you can get back to the world map easily. And those are always nobodies. And then everything else, I just went to the Timeless River because if you go to the door to Disney Castle, that treats it the same as going to the world map and fills out your gauge.
Oh,
So-
so you can
nice.
just go out and back and
Yeah.
fight. Okay.
Super easy to do. It was actually easier to do that than it was to do the world that never was, where I did occasionally get there just a little too late and had to grind back up
So you
my thing.
maxed master form and you ground levels. What level did you get to?
So
He actually
maxed
ground all
out
the
every
forms,
form.
right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Partly because it went so fast that I was like, all right, let's at least get all our maneuverability up. And then I realized after is like, oh, only 2 of these forms don't do maneuverability, so I may as well do those. Turns out maxing out summon form, or not even summon form, maxing out your summon gauge is like a huge pain in the ass and probably pointless. It takes longer than the rest of than all of the drive forms combined, because
Wow.
you just there's no way to make it go faster. You just have to summon somebody and work
wait
down
for
your
it
summon
naturally.
gauge.
Yep.
I mean, you can go. So I did Chicken Little because you can go into FPS mode and that spends 3 of your summon gauges immediately. Which still counts. It counts toward your rolling total that you need.
Okay.
So that speeds it up. And I was just like, all right, I guess I'll do this over and over again. So now those are all maxed out.
Okay.
We have maximum maneuverability for Sora outside of his forms. It's hilarious because like once you get them far enough, not being in a form is more valuable because you can air dodge and glide and
'Cause you can do all
fast
of
run
them, yeah.
and dodge roll and all that stuff. So after I did that, I was like, okay, I should start doing some actual grinding so I can get to like a reasonable level. What level am I at? So when we stopped, I think we were at about level 56, I think was our number.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And I was like, all right, I'm at least going to get to 65. I might get to 70.
Okay.
Having done all of my drive form grinding, I went and checked and I was already at level 67, so I just stopped.
Okay.
So I stopped at 67 because there's at least an area that the problem was we couldn't physically get to it. It wasn't a leveling thing. It was just that we didn't have the right combination of
maneuver.
we couldn't
maneuverability.
fly far
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah,
and
we couldn't
shit.
glide. The issue was that I think glide was dropping too quickly.
Yeah, because that's as your glide gets more and more like just pure flight.
Yeah, it starts
basically.
to level out more as you level it up. I don't know if we'll have to go into final form in order to like glide almost straight up horizontally, or, but I think we'll be good to go do. It's the Cave of Remembrance. There's a little passage where there's pipes, but you have to go through a nearly horizontal set of pipes, and there's a pit that goes down to a thing to go back around. And we tried for like 5 minutes and we couldn't do it.
We gave
so
it a
was like, all
couple
right.
tries.
So yeah, the level
Refill
grind
slightly
has
empty.
happened.
Well, the problem there is I don't know. So I did that a couple times, but I don't know how that contributes to, your point total. Like, does it sit there and add fractional amounts of a gauge, and then you've done 1 full gauge's worth of stuff? That's 1 point.
My count is 1.
So I don't know. But yeah, so
But it is done.
yes, yeah, we're at a point where we can. So this weekend we're going to record some Kingdom Hearts 2. We're going to get some more. Like, there's literally going to be a weekend. I think 3 weeks from now, where the Saturday episode is us hitting our stopping point, and then Sunday is going to be suddenly we're 11 levels higher and everything's maxed out. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to play it by ear, and anytime we hit another stopping point, we're basically just going to go, okay, cool, that's it for recording of this. By next weekend, I'm going to
6
grind
levels
up
later.
to another bunch of levels.
Yep.
Like, the next, like, I'll probably, shoot for level 75 next.
Yeah.
As, like, a thing to aim for or
Right.
or something.
Which I think is the right way to do it. Like,
yeah.
we don't want to do...
I don't want to jump immediately to 99. I know we're probably going to want that ultimately, but I don't want to do the latter half, the entire second half of the post game at max level and just be like, oh, we're just plowing through everybody. This could have been interesting, but instead we're just god power
and kicking dicks
God
up.
punching.
Yeah. So yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, no, that's going well.
About it for KH2.
The mushrooms are gonna be a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, the gimmick battle.
Mushrooms are just irritating.
I know that there's a bunch of tricks for a lot of them. Wisdom form is useful for a lot of them. Final form is going to be good for one than Timeless River because you just do shitloads of attacks over and over again, and that's just about doing them quickly. The worst one is probably going to be the one in The World That Never Was, where you have to do reversals because you literally just have to sit there, reverse over and over and over again until it goes, what? And then you attack it a fucking shitload, and then you repeat the process, and you have to like perfectly do the entire thing to get the necessary number of hits. So that's going to be fun.
Super irritating.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. The rest of the mushrooms are going to be okay.
Yeah, we figured some of them out already.
Yeah, I think we've beaten
most of them are just pain in the
one
ass.
of them. I think we've only beaten one so far out of the 13. But we at least know how to do a bunch of them at this point, or at least have an idea. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is going well. If I had to take a wild stab at how many episodes it's going to be when it's over, probably in the ballpark of 80.
Okay,
I think is probably going to be where that one's going to come to an end.
Not the longest, most ridiculous run, but
plus or minus 5, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be kind of where that's going to be. There's a second reaction command that you have to time it perfectly for in order to get, where it literally gives you a couple frames to do it, and if you don't, you reversal, it reversals, and you are trying to time it again. So that's like going to be a big fucking.
You have to hit 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's going to be a big fucking pain.
Well, we'll get there in a while since, like you said, we have a lot of Kingdom Hearts sort of on the docket at the moment.
Yeah. And then after that, we're going to be moving into the bridge between 2 and 3, which is going to be kind of touch and go. We're going to be doing it in a couple different forms. Some things are going to be Let's Playing. Some things might get streamed. Some things might get watched as like the video versions of things.
Yeah.
So it's going to vary a lot from one thing to the next, so we'll do the best we can with that.
The ideal is to get as much of the story as we can, fill in as much as we can, but not do 72 hours of like largely uninteresting gameplay. Not as a slight, but like,
no, that's fine.
To get an extra, to play an entire side game, to get like a couple of minutes of footage. Maybe not quite worth it.
I'm told that the side games between 2 and 3 are a decent amount shorter, closer to like Chain of Memories in terms of length, as opposed
which was
to
a reasonable game size.
Yeah, like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were both like like 40-hour games for us or something like that.
Yeah.
Chain of Memories was like I guess Chain of Memories was like 30. But that also had 2 separate story modes.
Yeah, you do it back and forth.
And all of that. 2 was the longest game. That sounds about right, yeah. And, yeah, it bums me out because, like, the story in 2 seemed to thin out the longer we played.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like the story mattered less and less the longer we went into it, as opposed to 1, where the story seemed to be ramping up the more we were doing stuff.
I think 2 just provided a lot more to do on the side.
They opened it up too quickly.
Yes. That it's such a wide fan out of the game that at the end you can kind of get lost from the central thread if you're like, oh, well, there's a new thing over here. Like, I'm going to try this again.
It's the trick with open world like mentality of games. If you give too many options, you either have to work, a factorial exponential like number more times harder on making the plot make sense and have it be there. Like, all right, if they do ABC, this is what the story's got to be. But if they go ACB, we have to do this so the story makes sense, and BCA has to do or you just go each area has its own very tiny chunk of story and they'll all slot in wherever. Yeah,
basically.
2 has the weakest connection to its main plot. It felt like it. Not to mention, 2 has a lot of we'll tell you later plot.
Yeah, like, ooh, this was alluded to 17 hours ago in gameplay.
Yep. Like,
which is just, you can't do that when you're gonna put like 20 hours of
And
gameplay in between.
especially when we
10 hours
take-
of gameplay in between, like that just doesn't work.
We take many days in between recording sessions often where we're like, oh, fuck, what happened 6 days ago?
But like, even if I was playing it, every time I had free, that's like not necessarily a couple hours every day,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like-
It still gets spaced out quite a bit.
Organization
It's-
13 in particular bothered me because, like,
Dumbass.
Sora, Riku, Kairi, even Mickey, Ansem the Wise, I'd say Axel, Xemnas a bit, Roxas a bit, and that's kind of it. They all get
Actual
some
proper
level
story.
A
of
little more
character and
fleshed out
story.
character development, yeah.
Ansem the Wise doesn't get much. Mickey doesn't get
Somewhat.
much.
They're
but
just
like they
kind of
get
there.
some.
That's fair.
And then you've got 10 other members of Organization 13 that get maybe 3 minutes maximum.
Axel
Yeah.
gets the most. Axel
screen
100%
time.
Yeah,
gets
but they're
the
let
most.
alone-
there got to be mooks.
Well, I mean, they're going to be mooks, yes, but like I assume the idea is I know some of these side games take place before and during the first 3 games.
Around.
Like 1, Chain of Memories, and 2.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to get backfilled information, and they're going to get more fleshed out, and I get that.
Which
But
is good, but like,
it's a lot to expect from someone playing the game to be able to wrap their heads around 13 members of an organization that wear nearly identical clothes.
you almost never see their faces.
Yeah, you don't see their faces
is
until you fight them,
Yeah.
and then they're dead. Like
Yep.
And you hear the voices so far apart in time.
that you don't
That
get to
it's
hear
like,
those distinctions.
Wait, I don't remember. There were like 3 guys talking, and
Yep.
all I had to distinguish them all from was like
Let's see.
the slightly taller one had this voice. Like,
So there's
so, like I don't remember any of it.
Axel, Roxas, and Xemnas are pretty easy to distinguish.
Right.
There's Punk Dad. There's Wimpy Boy. There's Ramen
Yeah.
Head. There's Girl. There's. I remember Marluxia. Marluxia actually had just the tiniest
enough.
bit amount of characterization.
Backstory, yeah.
There was Battlefield Earth.
I just love your names for them.
That's all I can remember. As far as like what we even called them, there was Angry Guy, but Angry Guy was also Ramen Head. But there was a different Angry Guy that I was getting pissed at because of like the big cleave swords that you have to sit there and wait for a minute before you can
and
use.
attach to and stuff, yeah. So
But, like-
apparently 358 over 2 days fleshes out
Yeah,
the back of the organization.
'Cause
Which again,
it
cool,
seemed.
but it's annoying when you're playing a game series and you're like, who the fuck's this?
And it was
it's
like, wait a
oh,
couple
you
years and
didn't-
you'll find out.
Or you didn't play the side game that came out.
That wasn't even an
It didn't,
option, though. It came
Yeah.
out like a couple years
we're
later.
doing these in the order that they
Sure.
came out. So 358 over 2 doesn't even
Oh.
exist yet at this point.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a modern problem, but like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if that's the solution, it's like, oh, come on, like
Yeah.
I already murdered this person, 60 gameplay hours ago. Now I'm gonna learn about like they actually
Why I
weren't
should
that
care.
bad and like
I want to.
they had 2 children who were very nice.
Yeah,
very-
right.
I
They're
very
just trying to
rarely-
save them.
I very rarely pat myself on the back, but I want to give a little one of these for calling what the 358 over 2 meant. Like, because that name had baffled me forever. And then while we were doing the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, where you play for 7 days as Roxas or
Yeah.
as fake Roxas.
Roxas in the
I'm
simulation?
Still not super
Roxas
clear.
in the simulation.
Simulated Roxas, or
Yeah.
no, it's real Roxas in the simulation. I think.
I believe that
Something like that.
Or it's his data in the simulation while real Roxas is like knocked out. That the whole simulation thing still
believe
fucking
that
is hard to
in
keep
bringing
straight.
Sora back like into like being alive and all like squared away again,
Yeah.
they had to reintegrate
Roxas
Roxas's
into
memories
Sora.
into Sora.
Yeah.
So I believe they were just memories and Sora was in a computer program.
Okay. So, but yeah, I like
I think.
if you sit there and you're like, okay, so you play a 7 days there, and it's like, all right, what's this? So 358 over 2, or 358 over 2 days, yeah. 358 would be the number of days in a year minus
a
1 week.
Yep.
And they explicitly say that Sora spends 1 year in the egg between Chain of Memories and
Kingdom Hearts
2.
Yeah.
So, like, presumably that is the 358 days that, like, Roxas is doing his thing. and the over 2 is probably either reference to, because Sora is split in two, like he is divided into two, or it's, Roxas and Axel or something, because they have like a bromance that gets literally whole seconds of screen time as Roxas is dying. Like, that was confusing because they like suddenly go into that cutscene and it's not obvious what's going on because Kingdom Hearts 2 does not. They really could have done with an easy visual for flashbacks and in your own head moments, but instead they're shot exactly like every other cutscene in the game.
Sometimes it just cuts from thing to thing and you're like, oh, this is years ago. No, this is a dream. No,
you'll wait.
Dream.
But literally, he gets stabbed. He gets stabbed and he's dying, and then we get him. It's not.
You
even
have a
flashback.
weird few moments of his bromance.
It's him in his own head having a goodbye moment, like he's imagining a farewell with Axel.
Yep.
Like, because the Axel that he's talking to is aware of the fact that Roxas is dying. It's weird, and I
let's
get
be
it,
honest,
but like,
it's super fucking anime.
Yeah. Oh, ultra anime.
It's super fucking anime.
And that is about 85% of the Roxas and Axel that you get in the game. You get little teeny tiny blips of it.
Roxas also,
And then
Axel
on.
also like hints at it a lot when you
Very
encounter
early
him
in the
in
game.
Chain of Memories too. Chain of Memories Axel also totally references like his friend and like he won't let you take his friend from him sort of
They'll
stuff.
go through their friendship in the upcoming game 720 over 360.
Yep. Skateboarding.
Yes, because
snowboarding.
Both of them were super into snowboarding.
I'm sorry, I think you mean what was it, like street board or
anyway,
something?
We've been on Kingdom Hearts for a while. What is next in our?
There's the Ouya. That's been going well.
Ouya, fun.
Ouya's been great. Even the terrible games have been entertainingly horrible.
Yes, I am a super fan of the collection-based like thing. Like when one of the earliest things series I was on with any consistency,
Super Nintendo
back
thing,
in the
wasn't
day,
it?
no, was the NES.
Oh yeah, yes.
So SNES was unfortunately before me, which
that's right. I keep getting the order backwards on those.
Exactly, but I first came on for like Sonic Pinball.
Oh boy,
as my
yeah.
first regular series.
Yes, because you make mistakes.
Yeah, well, I was given one option, so I had to choose Sonic Pinball or nothing.
How far did your mental health recede when Casino Park suddenly cracked open and you saw that giant pinball table?
In
Sonic
Heroes?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, so the thing is that I think that as like terrible and scarring as it was to cut my teeth on Sonic Pinball Party, I think that it built up some calluses on my hands. Because like
I think you mean your brain.
Coming in and brain, yes. It built up some lesions on my brain. Coming in with like a game that was unrelentingly
awful,
difficult and shitty at times. Like there was some fun there, but it was also
it's not even like
painful.
it's not even like it's a terrible game. The story mode sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's brutal. The game itself, as a pinball game goes, it's actually a really solid.
That was not the
pinball
problem.
game.
The problem was
it's
the decision to
fine
try and
pinball.
find secret stage land.
Oh yeah, trying to find Moon Zone.
Moon Zone,
where we
yeah.
literally had to we literally discovered that both theories that were online were wrong. And we discovered the real, actual way to get to Moon. That was fun.
That's
It was
kind of
not
my
often-
point here, babe.
Not
Welcome
often.
7 people who are currently playing Sonic Pinball Party in the world.
Yeah. It's not often that we get to be the first to be like, wait, hang on. That's a thing.
Yeah.
And then we figured out it's like, oh, you need, I think
No,
it's like
I mean, then
150
that's
million
cool,
points.
and that's cool and all, but like the sheer amount of time, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
so
sheer number of
By the way,
hours
I would
that you
say
spent going absolutely insane
Pinball games.
up in this room.
Yeah.
Pinball games that I have played, video game pinball games, I think in order would go Kirby's Pinball, Sonic Spinball at the bottom, then Kirby's Pinball Land, then I think I'd put Galactic Pinball from the Virtual Boy, which is a pretty solid one, but it's slanted so far backwards that it's kind of hard to see sometimes.
Okay.
Then I think I'd say Sonic Pinball Party.
Okay.
Then I'd say 3D Space Pinball or whatever the fuck that one was on
Space Cadet
Windows.
Pinball?
Space Cadet Pinball on like Windows.
Hey,
95.
that was great. I
Yeah.
loved that shit.
Yep, that's my number 2.
No, I'm just saying, like, that was solid.
The only one that I like better, I actually really like Pokemon Pinball.
Yeah.
That's a
I had-
really nice pinball
I had
game.
Pokemon Pinball with a Rumble Pack and everything as a kid.
Really, really well put together.
Yep.
I think it's the same. I believe it's the same team that made Kirby's Pinball Land, with several years of experience and being like, okay, now we can fix this.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so my point is Sonic Pinball Party, I think,
Or was it Sonic Pinball? Oh,
gave me some like calluses, because you like imagine coming onto YouTube channel and being like, let's play all my favorite games, and it's like, no, there's a schedule and things have been planned and there are things underway. Like, we're not gonna play Chrono Trigger again for me because I missed it.
Oh, man.
Poor Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, no.
All I gotta do is wait a couple years.
I watched it.
We've played Sonic the
I enjoyed
Hedgehog,
watching
I think,
it.
3 separate times already.
Yeah.
And there's always a new excuse for playing Sonic the Hedgehog again. So I'm sure there will be a reason to come back to Chrono Trigger again in the future.
New Game Plus.
Right? Like, so
New Game Plus.
the only reason, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I don't know if so all right, little mini side thing that reminds me of, so the Completionist, Gerard Khalil, aka that one video gamer, he had a pretty well-known, like, falling out with his longtime collaborator, Greg. They had to take down any of the videos that Greg was in,
right,
or he was going to essentially sue them, and there was going to be this whole thing. So he was just like, I'm just going to take the videos down. I'm trying to figure out what to do, and eventually decided he was going to re-review those games and reproduce videos and redo everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to figure out what to do for it. And I think, as far as I could tell, because he was trying to come up with, like, all right, how do I brand this or whatever? And I was in the Discord for that because I put money in because I was like, oh, I want to support him. I've been a big fan of his for a while, and this is a particularly tough time. I'll put some money in. And, like, in the chat, I was like, New Game Plus? Like, it's literally you re-reviewing a game you've already reviewed, but with more knowledge and more experience and more everything at your disposal. It makes sense. And then he wound up going with that as a thing. So I was like, oh, cool. So the only thing that's keeping me from necessarily having ours also be a New Game Plus thing is, like, I literally suggested that name to somebody else.
Good job, baby. Good job.
Granted, it's not exactly like a unique concept by any stretch.
No.
So, like, whatever. We could literally call the playthrough Chrono Trigger New Game Plus.
Yes.
Which I guess would be misleading because it's not an actual whatever.
No, yeah, there would be a New Game Plus. I mean, that's
Plus Jeffrey.
Chrono Trigger.
We could literally play the New Game Plus of that file, but like, wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Chrono Trigger DS. That's a good point. We never did actually do that bonus chapter.
That's true.
DS one's okay. It's 90%. It's still enjoyable,
no,
but it's not quite the
it's,
same.
It's SNES or nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's very good if you don't have this. The Super Nintendo one is hard to come by, so if you don't have it, the DS one is very serviceable.
Oh, I have my copy.
I got one. Somewhere around here. I've got one too.
Jeff's like, I have my copy.
But anyway, they're like playing Sonic Pinball Party prepared me for Heroes. In a way that, like, I think I'm enjoying.
Steel
now.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm ready. I'm like upbeat, but still prepared to do terribly. And like, I will acknowledge that I am not the best console gamer because it has not been my like. I haven't played consoles for a number of years. I've been on the PC train for like a decade.
The entertainment value, though, just
yes, like, and that's the thing. It seems that people no longer super hate watching me play Sonic Heroes.
There was
maybe
like
kind of come around full circle.
Like 5 or 6 episodes in, there was a sudden like rise in comments being like, "What the fuck? Fucking fuck,
so terrible,
fucking
then,
Jeffrey."
Like, right around like, 9 or 10, all of a sudden everything flipped around, and it was like. Oh man, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They're gonna be at this forever, and I love it.
It went from I can't believe that they game over, this is bullshit, to oh man, they didn't game over, bullshit. I wanted them to go through it again, which I'm glad you enjoy my suffering.
No, that's like
that's what you're here for, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of a
me.
game playing and game watching experience is like. Someone who has no idea someone who has basically no idea what they're doing with it and just figuring it out and just be like, holy shit. Yeah. For me, that's the same thing with Dark Souls is like playing it, it's stressful and I don't always love it. But in looking back at it in hindsight, I would rather watch someone who doesn't know how to play Dark Souls figuring it out than someone who is a master at Dark Souls just blazing through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
just-
Watching somebody use the Guitar Hero guitar to beat a
I'm not saying
Dark
it's not
Souls
impressive.
boss,
Yeah.
It's definitely
kind of
impressive.
a really cool experience.
And like
True.
speed runs are in their own category of that, where like if they're finely tuned and they're just like literally, optimal paths and literally taking racing lines
Yeah.
around corners to save time, like that's cool
Speedrun.
as a novelty.
Yeah.
But as like if I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch,
Oh, that's
yeah, I don't
30
think I'd
hours
want to
of
watch
stuff?
like somebody play the whole game using the Guitar Hero
Yeah.
guitar.
yeah,
Damn
But
right,
it is
John.
cool to watch them do like the boss fight and wreck the boss.
yeah, oh yeah.
Like that's pretty awesome.
For me, I like seeing people who are like figuring that shit out, because as an audience member, I'm probably also figuring it out too.
I'm sorry, John, but have you watched Rick play a bullet hell game? Have you?
Yes, he was here for
'Cause-
Fury.
No,
Yeah.
but he's who the fuck's coming here to see games played
I mean,
well?
that's why
And
I
I'm
s-
like, excuse
I mean,
you.
that's why
it
I
does
s-
happen occasionally.
That's why I said hell yeah, John, because I'm not the person who's playing games well. I'm the person you enjoy watching who plays them
I'm
poorly.
sorry, watching Rick Ninja a bullet hell game is kind of entrancing.
That's true.
That was-
Super Hexagon's one of my favorite
Yep.
playthroughs.
That's the whole. I'm planning on bringing You
Fury.
Do It back very soon.
To do the awesome game, right? The
to do-
awesome, cool music game?
Well, yeah. So
Man,
yes,
We gotta get
Sort
I'm
of.
trying to be
playing Dead
vague.
Cells.
yes. No, I know. There's gonna be there's stuff that's happening first, and then that I think is the plan. But
Because
yes.
I want that to happen so bad.
that game.
It's funny
Yes.
because like
You know.
You
I
do
know.
it. You do it is the first. Literally, the
Can't
three of us
say
are the
it.
ones who know it. But the idea for You Do It was that I was going to do a bunch of challenges and then take some time off and then come back to it and be like, all right, here's our season 2. Like we don't really do seasonal content like that.
Not
a lot of people
currently,
do.
yeah.
A lot of people will do like there are. This is going to sound like a lame example, but like there's a lot of people who do like Minecraft YouTuber stuff who will do like months of content doing a thing, and then they'll end it and they're like, all right, I'm gonna wipe this seed out and I'm gonna come back in like a week or two and we're gonna start over, and they label
Yeah.
that as season 2, and they're a new experience, a new thing. And I kind of want to do something similar with You Do It, where like a whole set of stuff, take some time off, come back with season 2 with a new set of content to work with. We took time off, but I really didn't intend for that to be like.
Sure.
I think
Well, I mean, it
Celeste
just-
was technically a You Do It series, the way that I had it in there.
I mean, it's really tough to find. So the one of the unique things about Fury is that it was a small,
Yeah.
tight, dope fucking game.
Yes.
And those are great for an 8-episode You Do It series. Super
Yeah.
Hexagon, small, tight, dope, 8-episode series.
Yep.
Finding games like that where
is
you
tough.
have this hyper challenge that's little package and stuff like I don't want to. It's not a great example, but Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy or whatever it is.
I was debating that as one, actually.
tight, hyper focused, small challenge
Yeah.
game.
Getting Over It's on my short list of ones that might be good for You Do It.
Yes. But
Cuphead
it's-
is on the list as well.
Sure,
Same thing.
That's even Cuphead's even.
I know
pretty
Cuphead's
long.
a little longer, yeah.
Like that's really. I mean, Cuphead's great.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. But like, it's not like as constrained as some of the other things were. So it's tough to find games like that. I think is one of the problems where You Do It.
There was a point where I was debating, and I guess this is almost related to the kind of New Game Plus idea too. Was like, there was a point where I was debating doing like a mini series with You Do It of revisiting games we've done before, but like whatever the challenging version of some of those are, or like with some extra like obstacle.
That's like basically
or
what
thing.
nobody basically just said there.
No, I know that was like that reminded me of like that was kind of idea bouncing around. It
More
wasn't going to
game
be like a
overs.
lot. It was going to be like pick and choose carefully a handful of those things and be like, all right, we're going to do this, but I have to do
Yeah.
this other thing, or here's this super challenging version of whatever.
Yeah, beat Mega Man X with no E-tanks, and you can't
beat it with
use
just the Buster.
Tornado. Yeah, or but just Buster. Sure.
There's people who do Buster runs of Mega Man games. It's super hard. It's
Yep.
the idea, but
But that's a You Do It series. Mega Man X Buster style is like tight and completable.
Yep.
But anyway, that's something that could that eventually you
yeah,
know.
if you guys have ideas for stuff that I could do for You Do It, then I'm happy to receive those, whether here or later in the comments on YouTube
we
or
need a
on Twitter.
suggestions channel in our
Do we not have one? I thought
D-pad
we might have
Discord.
had one at one point and then got rid of it.
I think it was kind of compressed into something else, but like literal just suggestions, ideas for videos or
Yeah.
challenges or things like that could be an interesting channel.
I think that'll be good as we go into next year also, because we're going to be winding down Zelda. We're going to be winding down Kirby.
yeah, we're checking a lot of shit off the list.
Yep. where Zelda's got some fucking velocity to it again,
Yeah.
which is nice. Sonic, we're gonna be at for fucking ever. We're halfway through the games on the list, and they only ever get longer. So
Yep.
like, we're gonna be at that for years.
Yay.
So we'll be 61 and we'll retire from life. However many of us are still around.
Yeah.
Like on the earth around, not on the team around,
Yep.
but you know.
Still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of like, I think next year will be a good opportunity for like kind of just even just random one-off like things, singular games, doing little things here and there. Suggestions channel for the no context Twitter.
Okay, yeah. I think there was a hashtag suggestions for
Oh.
the D-pad out of context Twitter.
Yep. But yeah, we could open like a suggestion because suggestions in general
video
for,
ideas.
or honestly just suggestions in general for like even the Discord or stuff like that too. Or like suggestions for basically anything could be in there. Just call the suggestion box and do that.
Ooh, suggestion box.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll
Hey,
if it's in box form, it's better. So.
yeah. Once it's packaged, I want it.
Yeah.
I do love packages.
I would prefer to live past 61.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I mean, my dad's going to be 61 in about 6.5 months. So, no, plus 1 year. So, a year and a half, basically.
So genetics
Forgot
have
what
you
year
on
it
track
was.
so far.
Yeah, doing good.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's doing pretty well for about to be 60-year-old. So,
yeah.
no complaints there. So, yeah, hoping to get past 61. That'd be nice.
All right. Speaking of that morbid fact,
Yeah.
what else do we have on the list?
Let me look at it because I have it in my hand.
Cool
Speaking
idea.
of Rick dying.
Use your
Um,
handheld computer device.
Oh, I trying to think of a way to describe this. Some people will just know what I'm referring to anyway. And actually, by the time this goes live on YouTube tomorrow, the thing that I'm referring to will have already happened. So
Okay.
people who are here will get to hear about this slightly early, and literally like less than 15 hours early. So last weekend I tried to put up the movie nights of the Round Table for Captain America: The First Avenger that we recorded back in May.
Yeah.
We recorded. Oh no, that one wasn't back in May. That was recorded back in like June, July.
Yeah,
it was the middle of the summer.
While ago in the summer.
It was hot as fuck. We recorded it with natural lighting, along with we didn't bring our studio light downstairs, and it was a huge mistake. And it
Yeah.
looks like garbage video wise. That slowed me down on editing a fucking lot.
Yeah.
But we tried to put it up last weekend, and of course Disney in seconds was like copyright.
Lightning
was like,
bolt.
fuck. So as of like a day or two ago, those have been lifted. I just made the videos private so they wouldn't just suddenly have existed. ? Time.
Yep.
So those I'm going to be putting live. On there's going to be a movie nights at the Round Table on Saturday. Hopefully a D-pad and chill on Sunday. That one hasn't cleared yet. That one's still waiting.
Which one was the D-pad and chill?
Also, Captain America: The First Avenger.
Oh,
we do those together.
Yes.
You were there for both. Goddammit.
I was just making sure.
Yes,
I had something else
so,
in my mind.
But yeah, that's gonna be this weekend, and hopefully that means we can start unclogging. We have this backlog of weekend content.
Yep.
That's just been in a big wad waiting to start moving, and this was the first piece to start going. So I think things are finally going to start moving after that, which is nice. Which is also good because we've been taking a bit of a breather from like the whole World of Battle Network after that ended, and this is good replacement content for a lot of that. A shitload of specials in a row.
Yeah.
For weekend content, while Kingdom Hearts, and Ouya Ono are the only weekend content. It's
Current
nice to give it a
series,
little more meat to the weekends.
Yes, and I'm extra excited because it's the first movie nights and D-pad and chill that I've been in.
Yep.
So it happened a bazillion years ago, and I've been like, oh, when's that coming out? And Rick's been like,
finally.
But one day,
as soon as you finish Sonic Pinball
day.
Party.
The reason I was saying May earlier is because Robot Rumble episode 4 was recorded back in May.
Yep.
And that one I've also, been struggling to get done, and that one's still in progress, but I believe that one will So I was about to say that one I think should be ready for next weekend. But here's the thing that I almost entirely forgot to bring up, and that's that next weekend, next Saturday is Extra Life 2019.
Yep.
So last year, I did. So we all did some stuff for this. I did a marathon run of Super Mario Odyssey, 100% marathon. I'm not going to say speed run. I tried to do it fast, but it certainly was not, a qualifying time by any stretch. For about 25 hours, I think, in total. That was a lot of fun. We had a good time with it, minus me being super salty over a fucking neighborhood-wide power outage at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We got through 15 and a half straight hours of uninterrupted. The chat didn't die. Now it's not a problem. Now we know why the chat was dying all the time. But
which is exciting.
we still had 15 plus hours of uninterrupted chat. I didn't have to touch anything.
Yep.
Everything was going well, and then the power goes out for 20 minutes, completely killing the viability of having a speed run submission. Like that totally, just the moment that happened, it was invalid.
Right away,
So I was like, fuck. I just spent 16 hours doing this shit. I woke up at like 9 p.m. so that I could get myself ready for this, and this is where we're at. And I was like a super loser, salty asshole for like a couple minutes, and then we kind of started getting back into it.
You
I
were
was like,
just
all
very
right.
sad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a fun time with that, and we're doing another one this year. Unfortunately, the timing of it wound up being really unfortunate because Sarah's going to King Richard's Fair, I think, on that.
No, it's closed. I'm going to another place.
Oh, a different place. So she's going to do like a Ren Fair thing with her mom on Saturday. But we'll probably be around at the very start and very end of whatever's going on. I think you were saying that you've got like family stuff as well.
Yeah.
Couple 100 miles away.
2nd of November, I'll be in Baton Rouge.
Yep. Oh, I thought you were saying like Indianapolis.
Well, my dad, who's from Indiana, and I are going
Gotcha.
to Baton Rouge
Gotcha.
to see family.
I'm just laughing at James Games. I don't really remember anything from Robot Rumble except Rick and John having bad opinions on FC Cup.
FC Cut Man.
Fully charged cut man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't love Fully Charged Cut Man. He's okay.
No, I was just giggling at the having
Yeah.
bad opinions.
Yeah,
So it
at
is
the time that we, the show was still on the air and we didn't have our full opinion yet. But
Yeah. So very unfortunately, because I really enjoy these streams, like the marathon streams. I had a lot of fun with Mario Sunshine.
that one was great. Mario Sunshine was a great time.
So I unfortunately won't be able to be there for Extra Life, but am hoping to plan or cajole people into doing a future, maybe not 24-hour marathon
Some
stream,
kinda
but a
longer-
long one on a weekend,
like an
or
event
something.
stream of some kind.
Yes.
We're formulating some ideas for those.
Yeah.
I think it's the way it looks right now. It's going to be me for the full day, Ben for most of the day.
Yeah.
I think he has something that he's got to take care of in like the afternoon, so he might be gone for a while. But I'm going to be here and trucking through something with Ben. I think we're going to do something that we can both participate in game-wise. Still figuring out what. At the top of my list right now is Super Mario Galaxy, just because it's easy and accessible.
Yeah.
But very open to other ideas. There were a couple interesting ones that had been thrown out, including ones that we had also considered but decided against for one reason or the other. But definitely taking suggestions on that as well. There will be an official declaration of what's going on with that no later than Halloween. I think Halloween will be the latest that we will make the official, here is what we're doing for that. And speaking of, I'm going to be doing a special Halloween stream. I'm not doing Dark Souls next week. I'm doing a special Halloween stream that is top secret, and you guys will find out about it Tuesday night in our Persona 3 stream, and that'll be a good time. Yeah. So yeah, if people have suggestions for us to do marathon stuff I'm happy to hear it. The goal is really something in the ballpark of 20 hours is basically the like target zone, because that gives enough flexibility that if things go bad, it can still be done within a 24-ish hour frame.
Yes.
And if things go quickly, all right, we did a 16-hour stream, and like we either
Bonus
stick around more with the game,
Jackbox, or like let's play online some random stupid drawing game or something.
Just do some other thing, or if there's extra content, we mess with that, like whatever. Negative vote for FF Tactics. I think Final Fantasy Tactics is off the list for at least for this. A, because Jeff will not be around and Ben will not be around for a chunk of it as well.
Yep.
Also, the game is too long for. So these the extra lifestyle marathon streams, these like full day, like 20+ hour streams. The goal is to have a game that goes start to finish in that amount of time.
Story beginning to end.
Yeah.
And especially like Tactics is a game that Ben and I love enough.
And me, you always leave me out of that.
No. I don't mean to say that, but at least for as far as our influence goes, we don't want it to necessarily be finished in one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
I
we're
mean,
gonna,
literally, I don't even know if it can be realistically done in.
even if
non-speedrun
Ben and I were going to
conditions and all that, but-
stream it, not just marathon stream, but do like,
Yeah.
I come over and we do a stream together, even if we're going to do that, spacing it out over weeks would be a lot more fun.
I agree. Yeah, I think the audience would appreciate that more too.
Yes, and there's
also,
just such depth to it that if we were doing it all in one day, it's like, oh, you missed 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, you need
You're
to
just way
go
behind.
check out a wiki.
it's kind of the two biggest things that go against doing hyper marathon streams of like something like Tactics is the story in that game is super fucking dense.
very
There
dense.
is a lot of like political intrigue going
There's
on.
so
in
many
that.
names.
A lot of fantasy names to keep track of, and
So
some of them
many
that are
names.
literally nearly identical.
Yes.
2, it is a tactical RPG, and those do get dry if you do them for too long in one spell. They start to I've played Tactics for 8+ hours in a go before, and by the end of it, you're just kind of bleary-eyed and just kind of like,
oh god,
up, down, holy sword,
yeah.
Geomancer.
It does. I mean, it tends to get into your brain.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's tough. RPGs in general are tough for that. Tactical RPGs are so chess-like that you really like need to keep the energy up. But
Yeah. So point is, that's not going to be a marathon stream. I don't think. We don't know what we're going to do with it going forward.
it seems like it'd be a real solid stream series,
sure.
like a series of 3-hour things or something, or more. If it's like, all right, it's the second Saturday of the month, and we're setting up for a 6-hour stream of Final Fantasy, like whatever. Something.
Exactly.
There-
Once a month, longer term, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like I said, with me and my schedule now being in flux, I have to see where I'm going to fall, like week to week, in terms of time and things like that. So yeah,
between football and contracts and all that stuff, it's gonna get a little bit all over the
For
place.
sure.
But yeah,
anything else?
I think that's about it. There will also be, like we did with Mario Sunshine, which was just kind of an on a whim kind of thing. We did it for the 8th anniversary of the channel.
It was a birthday party.
Yeah, we're gonna do more marathon streams outside of Extra Life and outside of like birthday celebration events.
Sure.
We just, that one was kind of the experiment of like, can we get through one where we don't have the like support structure of a charity event like Extra Life? Can we do that and have it be interesting, exciting, engaging for people?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we're checking if people would give a fuck.
Yeah, and people did.
Yeah.
People had a good time. We
Yeah,
had a
we
good
had
time
a
with it.
long
So, like,
good time. Yeah,
I
whole
had a-
fucking day.
as much as I love Odyssey, and I do like it more than Sunshine, I think I had more fun doing Sunshine than Odyssey, just for the virtue of, like, we had a fun gimmick with it. We had a lot. It seemed like we had a solid amount of engagement the whole time. We had actual speedrunners, like real legit, like top 10 speedrunners showing up in the chat and dropping hints.
And being like, oh, yeah, like, you guys are, oh, wow, you're way behind.
Yeah.
And we're
That was the
like,
thing.
yeah, no.
We were very upfront being like, look, we are ultra losers at this.
Yeah.
You do not need to waste time here if this is like so far beneath your like, experience level with it. But
Sarah has innumerable and possibly
Ooh.
uncountable sparkles to be stuck to my face.
Oh,
for
yes.
future stream
Dragon Quest
incentives.
3
Oh,
is
yes.
is not the worst
I
possible.
like looking beautiful.
True fact.
I had thought about Dragon Quest 3 the one thing that kept me back from that is that early Dragon Quest games, as much as I love them, in massive long chunks have that same dryness issue that stuff like Final Fantasy Tactics does. I think Dragon Quest 3, by virtue of being less dense and more lighthearted, alleviates some of that, but I don't know how well that would go. I'm worried that it's a little too, not like niche, but it's a little too focused of like target demographic for the game. I don't know. I'm not opposed to doing it by any stretch. I love Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we have something that's like approachable from as many people as possible. Like that's kind of
yeah. You want something that's accessible.
Yeah. Because we ultimately want to raise I want to beat our goal from last year. We raised $1,000 for
Extra Life.
Oh God, I should have double checked what the actual charity was. Was the Boston Children's? Was it literally just called the Boston Children's Charity? It might have been.
Could be. I do not remember.
Damn it, I think that's what it was. I want to beat that this year if possible. I think I'm gonna set the goal. The ultimate goal, I'd like to get to 1,200 this year if possible.
Yeah, step it up slightly.
Especially like if we had all of us here, I would be willing to make that more like 1,500 or 2,000 just to see if we can really push it.
Yeah.
But if it's me and like 2/3 Ben and nobody else,
1/3 Sarah,
and the start of the day Sarah and the end of the day Sarah, like it's just enough in and out of everybody that we can't really do like a solid like Mario Sunshine style thing. So I don't want to like go way overboard and then wildly miss the mark.
Yeah.
So I think I want to shoot for 1,200 this year.
Sounds about good.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep on the lookout for announcements about the Extra Life stream and things like that. And yes, suggestion box I think is something that we could benefit from.
As far as the marathon streams go, I don't think we're we're open to doing it more than twice, but probably no more than 4.
We're not going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think we're always going to make sure there's at least like a couple months in between them because you really do have to recharge from those pretty badly.
Also, marathon stream is not going to mean 24 hours.
Doesn't necessarily.
Every time.
Yeah, there will probably
sometimes it'll be like 30.
Yeah,
like because Rick is insane.
I suspect that there will probably be 2 that are in the 20 or so hour range in a year. You got the Extra Life, which like that's the stated goal up front is like we're trying to do 24 hours of fundraising.
Sure.
And then somewhere else in the year, maybe that's the birthday one.
I mean, a marathon stream could be from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have a Smash Arena open straight all day, and there's people filtering in and out from the D-pad playing and, other people playing and stuff like that, It doesn't have to be just complete game end to end. We're just talking like bulkier, hang around, longer day stream sort of things.
Yeah.
But,
something that's like I think basically any other marathon streams that are outside Extra Life.
Thank you, Alex Britt.
And the 7 hours for a random stream. Rick, I don't even know if that's in response to
your Wind Waker one.
Wind
probably.
Waker.
Oh yeah.
Just spiraled out because of probability's sake.
Yeah, we Jeff and I were doing math.
Yeah.
Literally, I had come up the stairs with the intent of going, "Hey Jeff, do you want to do some Sonic Heroes before we get this in?" Because we had like an hour and a half, and instead we spent an hour and 15 minutes just talking about
discussing statistics and probability.
It is so like
I've watched them do it before too. They just will like start into a conversation. Sometimes it'll be like meta D-pad plot. They can go for hours on meta D-pad plot.
That's a whole
yeah.
Let's not
no,
get into
I'm just
that.
mean like the two of you talking. When you sit down and you start talking about those topics.
This is just specifically talking about last night's stream. But like we had
about an hour and a half on a statistical analysis of the likelihood of
for example,
getting what we needed.
So for anyone that's not familiar, we went from like something in the ballpark of 100 treasure chests at the start of last night's stream down to 13, and we only needed to get 4 items to actually be able to complete the game. The 2 Master Sword upgrades, light arrows, and the last Triforce shard.
Yep.
We got the first Master Sword upgrade fairly early in the stream. We got light arrows pretty early in the stream, like maybe an hour and a half in. We got the last Master Sword upgrade like probably 4 hours in.
True fact, nobody basically.
And then
true fact.
We just kept hunting for that last Triforce shard, and we just got through dozens and dozens and dozens of these treasures. Couldn't get it anywhere to the point where we're now down to 13. 3 of these treasures, we know what they are ahead of time, thankfully, so we don't have to bother with them. So realistically, there's 10 treasures. 3 of them come after you get the Triforce because they're down in Hyrule, so there's 7 treasures, one of which is a Triforce shard. We have it out of 302 treasures in the entire game. Actually, 304 because the 2 beetle ones didn't count for some reason.
Yep.
Out of 304, we're down to 7. The only reason I pushed that stream as long as I was actually planning on starting that one around 6:30, but then work had I had extra work stuff going on, so I had to push it back to the normal starting time. I was like, all right, I'll start it early. I'll go late. I'll do like a 6-hour stream. That should be enough. Odds were pretty solid that we were going to get our 4 things in time
and just go. But no, it was.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
we worked out the math that
I was there.
Based on what's available between the Triforce shard and 2 possible treasure charts,
the various
could also go there.
Conditional probabilistic statements of like linked items and things.
Yeah, the odds of the very first thing we pick up either being a Triforce shard or being a treasure chart that leads us directly to a Triforce shard is actually, it's even better than that because I didn't even think about the possibility of getting a Triforce, getting a treasure chart that gets us to another treasure chart that gets us to a Triforce shard.
That's true. There is an additional.
So it's at least 17%.
Yep.
Right off that first one. Probably
more
closer
like
to 20.
18. Yep.
So like 18, 19, 20%. That the first one is going to be that.
So we're so fucking close.
There's a 33% chance that the next one after that is going to be the one, and that's assuming that the first one fails. So there's more than 50% odds
Yep.
that the first 2 things that we get will lead us directly to the Triforce
find
shard.
It, hopefully, yeah. And we spent a long time talking about the actual math behind that. So.
It's going to be an embarrassingly short stream because I'm going to go do the Goron thing. We're going to get access to 2 items, and it's going to be like, whoops, shit. So I need to prep a backup.
45 minutes of that and then Jackbox.
Right? Like, we will have done Dark Souls the week before, so I don't know that I necessarily want to jump immediately back into Dark Souls again. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out how I'm feeling on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe we just do Dark Souls again and both of those get cleared out around the same time. So who knows?
Which would be the worst?
Anyway,
was that the last
That's the thing, yeah.
point?
If we reach a point where it's like, well, I've got the Triforce shard and I've been playing for 40 minutes, I guess let's do the Savage Labyrinth and let's do some of these other things.
Okay, you can do a little completion just for a victory lap kind of thing.
Yeah, at that point, it's like there's only 13 chests left. We may as well just get them.
Okay.
You know?
I guess that makes sense.
I'm going to have a list of where the Gorons are and where the Withering Trees are, like specifically on the map-wise.
Sure.
Just to make life a little bit easier, but... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can do low latency mode Jackbox nowadays.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, man, we played Jackbox Party Pack 6 last weekend, I think.
Yeah, during Halloween.
One of those games, I forget which, gives you, like, crazy low amount of time to get stuff in.
Yeah.
And I forget which one it was. I think it was Dictionarium? No, Dictionarium was actually pretty okay on time.
No, I think that one was pretty good. I don't remember.
Dictionarium is also awesome.
It was
That's
very
a great
late.
game. You are inventing words and meanings and examples based off of a prompt.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. There was the art. What the hell was the art game this time? Is the one where you could draw your face.
Yeah, I am...
drawing a blank on all of these. Trivia Murder Party 2 is basically just Trivia Murder Party again. There's not like a functional difference
There's
between them
a
that I can
couple
tell.
of new mini games within Trivia Murder Party, like 2, but
which I like. Trivia Murder Party. It's just it's basically just Trivia Murder Party again.
Mostly, I remember eating all the McDonald's at the end of the night, and not much of the Jackbox.
Oh yeah,
I was so hungry at that point that I think I just pushed all the Jackbox knowledge out of my head.
Oh my god. You were the Burger King.
I was the Burger King.
And he literally had a sack of Burger King or McDonald's burgers?
It was Burger King
burgers.
My costume was I wore like kingly things, and I went to a Burger King earlier in the day, and I got 10 cheeseburgers from the value menu for like $15 and 2 crowns from Burger King. And I put all the burgers in a sack that I borrowed from Sarah and handed out burgers all night. So, but I ran out.
I also gave him a sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I
the
did have a
sword,
sword
like
too. That's
Gladius or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was
good.
just extra fun.
Thank you.
I
It was
don't know if
good
it's
because then
Gladius
you
or
could like
Gladius,
knight
but-
people and stuff. So it was pretty perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, what else?
How did we get over to that? I'm like
We
trying
were
to remember
talking
how
about
we.
streams, and then we were talking about like finishing off Wind Waker short stream with a Jackbox party pack thing, and then we're talking about Jackbox.
They seemed
games.
excited about the whole idea of a Twitch Jackbox stream because then they can actually like play without crazy
yes,
delay.
That's true.
This is the thing. We just remember that it'll be the first time we have a real low latency stream Jackbox session.
Because if we do it on
makes a big
Twitch,
difference.
YouTube obviously has crazy latency still.
For sure.
But Twitch, we're down to a point where people like you had like 0.6 second latency.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah, sub-second.
So that's fast enough that we can literally just play as if everybody was in this room.
Yep.
And it'll get out to everybody fast enough for that to,
which makes more games viable and things like that.
In
so.
the worst case scenario is that like there's about a 1 second delay from the game through the hopodge to the stream, and then there's about a second of delay in the stream to everybody.
latency,
So like 2, maybe 3 seconds. If anyone's got if anyone's got really laggy latency, that's gonna be a problem. But if people are generally good, then that 2 seconds really shouldn't matter so long as people aren't waiting for the last second to get stuff done.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think that's about it.
Yeah. We're coming up to time.
Yeah. So, okay, I had mentioned in the so we have our Patreon. Obviously, that's the reason that we do this. We make a post on our Patreon to let people know when we're doing these, and I've been trying to let people know ahead of time when the next month's stream is going to be. Next month is tricky because it's November, and the last Thursday of the month is Thanksgiving, which means the last Friday of the month is a bit tricky to work with. So the plan right now is that we're going to do this on the last Friday of the month, which is the 29th, I think. I might actually, the 29th. Normally I would have pulled it back to the 22nd, but I managed to score 4 tickets to an early screening of Knives Out at 7 o'clock
neat.
on Friday.
I'm so excited for that.
So I grabbed them on the assumption that us and Ben were going to be able to just
Jeffrey,
like,
you
want to
go see that, right?
What? Okay.
If you want to jump in on that,
I suppose
we got
possibly.
some tickets.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
that's at
optional
7
now,
o'clock,
Jeffrey.
and it's a 2+ hour movie, and we're not going to want to do a Patreon stream
called it
at
on the
10
internet.
o'clock at night. So
Yeah.
it's 10 o'clock right now, and we don't want to do this right now. But so like,
We got stuff to do.
yeah,
And food to eat.
and food to eat. But yeah, so the plan right now is the 29th. If we got to do it on a Saturday, or if we have to do it on December 6th, then so be it. I'm gonna try to.
It's
We're gonna
about a
try to.
month.
We do need to figure
we're
out
gonna try
when
to
we're
avoid it as
doing.
best we can, but
We could
Yeah.
do D-pad Thanksgiving that night or something, and try and
D-Padsgiving,
get all the
29th.
people over.
That the
and,
only thing
like,
tricky
have,
about
like,
that
a
is
good-
that
Actual
a lot of people
Thanksgiving?
are,
I can't come.
a lot of people are going to be
No. We
No,
do
no.
D-Padsgiving.
Oh,
on,
and the
like,
next day?
the next day
No,
or that
well,
Saturday.
whatever
or,
we,
Oh,
whenever
yeah,
we
like
are.
we have like a party for it.
Oh, good. I'm going to
Yeah.
gain 6 pounds in 3 days.
Oh, because last year was great. Last year D-Padsgiving
Didn't you
was
come
awesome.
to D-Padsgiving?
I did,
last year?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I had
good
normal
time.
Thanksgiving and then D-Pads giving, and I think I gained 6 pounds. So looking forward to that again.
I think I
It's
I
good
think
for
that
you,
was
Jeffrey.
I think that was the party
Good for
the
me.
party where after the fact you
You
were
gotta
like,
hibernate in the
I
winter,
need to
right?
not have my phone in my hand and a drink in my hand at the same time at the things. I think 'cause there was a point where you were hanging out like right here and you were talking to a bunch of us who were on the couch.
Yes.
And I think you were discording at the same time also.
Yes.
Oh, that was the one where like a bunch of the like Beeble
We're trying to get people
Dabbing.
to dab. Yeah.
God,
and all
why?
that stuff. Because everyone was
Drunk.
drunk and
Everyone was having a really good time.
Drunk.
I was having
refuse to
I was
dab. I'm
having
sorry.
a really good time.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm 32 years old. I'm already ancient. I'm too ancient to dab. I can't do it. After a certain age,
Oh, that's right. I'm like
It
the only
dramatically-
sub 30 member at this
Ian?
point, aren't I?
Ian is also under. Ian's younger than you.
Yes, that's right. He's just not here a ton. I forget about that.
But yeah, CJ and John are both above 30. Lindsay, Felice, Ben, all above 30.
Woo!
I'm like running through. Dustin's above 30.
It's not me.
Yeah. I think it's you and Ian and Heather by extension.
Well, so the point of the conversation is that D-Pad's giving was super cool, and
Oh, I
that
miss D-pad tie.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll try to do a stream from D-Pad's giving at some point.
We can try to do some big group like, hey, everybody's here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying, because it's a
convenient.
nice. People want to come over to eat the food. But then we can also
I
do
think
like
I think if we do have a D-Pads Giving stream, then that'll probably be a public stream and not a
Patreon one.
It'll still be the Hangout for that month, but I think it'll just be open to everybody in the spirit of Pads Giving.
Yes, exactly. Giving back.
Yeah. And then in December, Christmas is on a Wednesday, so it's not going to be quite so difficult to make stuff happen. I think we'll probably do it the Friday before Christmas just to make it like simple because
still in the Christmas season.
Yeah, a lot of people, do Christmas through New Year's of stuff, and rather than try to barge into the middle of that,
go on a trip or something.
We'll do it before Christmas, and then everyone can like focus on Christmas
simpler,
after that.
yeah.
So the holidays and all that jazz. But yeah,
I'm gonna put Santa hats on everyone. Just warning.
That's fine.
That's not gonna be optional. You're gonna get decorated for that.
I'm good with the Santa hat.
Believe you, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love me a Santa hat.
I like hats.
Cool.
They look good on me, but I like them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. We didn't do much in the way of Q&A just because we had a decent amount of stuff to run through. There was like a lot of like.
Oh, that's a good point. Nobody
catching up on
basically.
stuff,
Yeah,
but-
probably.
What was that? Can we do it on Twitch? Send it over to everyone. I guess
I wouldn't
probably.
see why
For
not,
the
because you can
sake-
still just upload it to YouTube
For
afterwards.
the sake of latency and smoothness.
I guess if we're gonna do like a big group like game or something, then Twitch would probably be a little easier for that. So,
or a big Q&A.
Yeah.
I just think if we're gonna do the D-Pads Giving one open to everyone anyway.
Yeah.
He's got a point, right?
I wish YouTube had low latency options because, like, while Twitch is great for low latency, YouTube will, I believe, send out the notification if it's a public stream. It'll like send it out to everybody that has the bell at least.
Yeah, it says they're live.
Right. So that's like instant. Like, holy shit! Lots of people can just.
People are like, oh hey,
yeah. That's where we put a 10 minutes to showtime thing on Twitch.
Yeah.
Send it out. Give it 10 minutes for the notifications to go through. But anyway, I'm.
But still,
or vice versa, I can put a thing on YouTube saying like, hey guys, head over to Twitch. In 5 minutes, we're starting a Pads Giving stream.
We're doing a
might not be a bad
live
idea,
stream
right?
on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about this.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. I wish you could customize the fucking. We are playing blah, but you can't. It's got to be a game name.
Yeah.
And then when it posts it, it just copies the game name. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a just chatting category. Okay. I mean, it might be a game stream. That's the thing. So who knows?
We'll find out.
But yeah. So, I guess we can change that midstream though. So that's fine.
Well, so thank you, patrons, for coming to the chat.
And again, if anyone out there who's watching this on YouTube after the fact wants to jump in on these live, head to patreon.com/gpadfm. I was talking to the side of this microphone for the last half hour. Awesome.
Cool.
And you can
maybe that's
see what
why
kind of
I
stuff
was
we got
the only
there.
spicy one.
Maybe.
I've been aiming kind of at it.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll see you guys later. We got some stuff to do. Bye.
Next time.